I've been truck driving for about 3 years now, and I started off with CR England. I was at CR England for about 2.5 years. I started off over the road with my training. I did that for about total of 2 months, and then I went on a dedicated account where we ran out of California and Las Vegas, Nevada, and it was mainly in California, but it might as well have been over the road, right? We I didn't go home a lot. I live up north. I was in between Modesto and the Bay. I didn't have a spot. Intentionally, I didn't have a spot when I was with CR England because I was living out of the truck. I was paying off a lot of debt. I paid off around $17,000 worth of debt with CR England, and it was cool. It was working until it wasn't. See, on the account that I was on, and this has to do with the topic. There's not a lot of money in trucking as far as trucking with the sleeper cab. All right. And that goes for anything that's dedicated, regional, especially over the road. That's the worst. Line haul, anything where you're staying out in a sleeper. It could even be in the same state. Say you're running all around Texas, just like how I was running all around California. I was out of they say it's Central California, but if you look on a map, Bakersfield it's really like Southern California, Bakersfield. The central part is really Fresno, but that's near or there, whatever the saying is, right? I was out of Bakersfield, California, out of a Walmart DC, and we were um, running up and down California into Las Vegas, Nevada. And sometimes I wouldn't go home for like 3 months, right? I was living out of the truck. It was going good. But that right there, here's the thing why over the road trucking and sleeper cab trucking doesn't make a lot of money. You have to calculate all the time that you're at work. And I knew this when I was on over the road trucking, when I was dedicated, when I was at night transportation, obviously. Um, that was pretty much where I went. I went from England to night transportation, tried to go to Martin, that didn't work out. I didn't get hired there. And now after night transportation, I came home to the Bay Area to try out local truck driving. And the whole time that I was, running a sleeper cab, I knew I was getting like fucked. I knew I wasn't making a lot of money. I knew that the trucking company was getting over on me by using that sleeper cab. Make no doubt about it. Make no doubt about it. And this goes, honestly, I'd say this goes for OTR guys too, because whether you own a business, um, maybe you could get away with it when you got a fleet of trucks and you got employees and you got like an actual trucking company. Then, okay, that's a different story. But if it's just you in the truck and you're running loads, whether it's 1099, you're doing it for yourself, or especially when you're with the company, when you go to work, you need to calculate all the time that you're at work. And over the road trucking, you give away a lot of free time in the sleeper. If you do get paid like Walmart private fleet, it's only like what? Like I think it's $45 a night that they pay you to do a 10-hour sleep. So let's do the math on that because everyone, like me, I wanted to go to Walmart and that didn't work out too, right? I have a clean driving record. What the reason why I didn't get into Walmart is because on my first year of trucking, when I was a rookie, I was parking a trailer and I took out an amber light. I cracked the amber light, um, a amber yellow light on the top of the trailer, trying to park into a spot that I really shouldn't have been parking into. And that's not an accident that the DMV is involved with or nothing like that because it was just me and this overhead thing, which that was about to get scrapped anyways. It was a bungalow in the yard that was about to get scrapped at a customer's yard in Sacramento. But because it was an in-house incident that was a preventable incident that I caused, Walmart didn't want to deal with me. Like Walmart is really strict. You cannot have anything, right? And most truck drivers, they'll at least have a in-house incident like that, right? Where they might have scratched a trailer and they report it. You see, but I don't want to go into that. I'm talking about money right now, trucking and money. Where the money is in trucking, the money is in local truck driving. It's not in over the road. It's not in line haul. It's not in dedicated. It's not in regional. It's not in anything that has to do with the sleeper cab. If you're running a sleeper cab, right, you have to calculate all of the work. Thanks for the super chat, Scotty. I really appreciate that. Um, Thank you. Let me go ahead and smash the love button right there. Um, I want to get this out there. Here's the thing though. When you're new in truck driving, I mean, if you want to get a CDL, there's various ways that you can go about doing it that I didn't know about. I just knew, like, look, CR England, I could walk in there with the permit and they'll take care of the rest as long as I show up to work every day. And I'm not even getting paid when I'm at trucking school. But once I get my CDL, I'll get hired. So when you start off with a trucking company, you're most likely going to be running OTR if you're new, because a lot of companies won't hire you unless if you're in-house. Like if you're a Walmart associate, they'll turn you into a truck driver with Walmart. You know what I mean? If you're at 7 Up, they'll turn you into a truck driver for 7 Up. And that's a good company to work for. Out here in the Bay Area in California, a lot of the 7 Up yards are union. I don't know in other states, but I know a lot of them are union, which are good jobs. You know what I mean? Um, so you could go to UPS will turn you into a truck driver, but you know how UPS is, dude. You gotta pretty much be eating like, you know, like having an EBT card and shit, barely making money because they want to keep you on part time and dangle that little carrot on a stick in front of you, like, oh, one day you could drive a truck. Fuck that. Or you could go to a private school. So if you're not going to do it in house where you already have a job, like with 7 Up or whatever, then you're going to have to either go private school or you're going to have to go to a mega carrier. Now, mega carriers are good, right? Your first year is apprenticeship where you're going to be using a sleeper cab, but you have to calculate all the hours that you're at work. And then once you calculate all the hours where you're at work to where, anything like line haul, dedicated, over the road, when you go home, it's called home time. That right there reminds you how much time you spend at work. If you're not at home, if you're not off the job, away from the truck, you're at work. And in over the road trucking and trucking with the sleeper cab, you give away a lot of that time at work for free that you're not getting paid. When you do local trucking, like which I'm doing right now, I think the trucking job that I got specifically right now that I'm working, which is the second one that I got since I've been home, and I'm about to go to the third one where, I started off at $28 an hour. Now I'm at 30 an hour. And the third job I'm going to go to is 37. Now, where I want to end up is with a trash company, not Waste Management, out here in San Francisco in the Bay Area, where they start you off at 48.50. It's union, it's a good job, right? But nevertheless, with all of these good paying local jobs, they all require at least a year to a year and a half experience, the clean driving record. So you're going to have to start off with a mega carrier like CR England, Swift, Knight, maybe JB Hunt, where they have like trucking schools. I don't know if JB Hunt has a trucking school. I think they require at least 6 months experience. Maybe they have some accounts or sometimes where they're hiring guys with no experience, but you're going to have to run a sleeper cab, which means you're not going to be making a lot of money, right? So the one company I know that pays you to stay out, that's not union, is Walmart. Now, Walmart, they pay you $45 a night to sleep in the truck, which isn't a lot of money. It's not. Let's just think about this, okay? This is Walmart we're talking about. A lot of over the road drivers, their goal is to go to Walmart, right? Everyone's running to daddy Walmart private fleet. But dude, don't forget, this is Walmart we're talking about. Do you really think that they're going to be taking care of their employees like that? No, it's fucking Walmart. When you run down the numbers, a Walmart private fleet driver who is like over the road, because that's what it is. It's over the road, whether you're staying on, the West Coast, the middle of the country, or the East Coast, or down south. Like they like to keep you dedicated in a few states. It's over the road. If you're crossing state lines, you are an over the road truck driver, period. And it doesn't matter that you're from California, you don't go to New York. No, 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 no. Those are guys that they have an ego because they go to New York from California, which is respectable. But at the end of the day, who gives a fuck about the ego? Who gives a fuck about your respect? Money. We're talking about money, okay? And you don't make a lot of money in a sleeper cab. You just don't. All right. The money is in local truck driving when you're getting paid hourly, right? I'm getting paid 30 an hour. I'm getting paid on a consistent basis, right? I clock in, clock out, take a lunch. It's touch freight. Most local truck driving jobs are going to be touch freight, but you clock in and clock out. I'm doing about 9.5 to 10 hour shifts every night, right? I'm on a swing shift. That's a job. Over the road trucking, you're just getting screwed over. That's something that's not worth staying in for a whole career. That's a mistake to stay in over the road trucking for a whole career. Because forget about, oh, you're not going to see your family, you're not going to have a social life. Let's just talk about the money because that's what matters, right? You shouldn't be going into over the road trucking or trucking because you want to live a lifestyle. The lifestyle of an over the road truck driver is very depressing. It's unhealthy. It's pathetic. It is. You know what I mean? You're living in a truck and you're letting life pass you by. You know what I'm saying? I know some people are going to get pissed off because I said it's pathetic, but it is, dude. I felt that. It's depressing. You get depressed living in the truck. You should not be selling your soul to any job, whether it's trucking or anything where you get home time, unless if you're in the military and you're doing that for like 4 years, you know what I mean? Just to earn your stripes in the military and get the benefits. That's cool. That's respectable. And that's worth it because you get good benefits out of the military rather than being an average citizen. You know what I mean? But if you do your entire career over the road trucking, you're missing out on so much money. Even if you are making six figures, you're not making that much money. You make more money making that six figures locally, like with Cisco, US Foods, even some of these like temp agency jobs. If you're in a big city like New York or San Francisco, um, where you might not be running like a full on semi, where it might be a 26-foot trailer or even a straight truck, but you're getting paid hourly. I'm getting paid more money on a consistent basis hourly than I ever did at CR England, Night Transportation, than I would have if I would have ended up at Martin, anything where I'm crossing state lines and I'm sleeping in a truck, because you have to do the math. All right. So say you're making $100,000, right? I said this in a previous live stream. Um, and let me show you something, all right? Because this is what Walmart private fleet boasts about. They say, "Oh, our employees will make $110,000 at Walmart private fleet in their first year," meaning that an associate who gets their CDL at Walmart private fleet, they're going to make $110,000. You know why they say that? They say that that way they don't tell you what you get paid hourly. Just think of that. What local job, whether it's construction or anything, right? What job do you know where they show you the annual salary instead of the hourly, right? It's more upfront, honest when they say, "Look, you're a janitor, and we're going to pay you $30 an hour. You're an electrician, we're going to pay you $25 an hour to start off." No, so we got 110, right? And you go home, it's like on the weekends, right? And some of them are running 3 or running 4 or 5. But let's just say, because when you're new at Walmart, you're going to be running 5, maybe even 5, 6. Okay. But let's just say you're running 5 days. All right. So we got that 100,000. Now we got to break this down in the amount of time. 110,000. We got to break this down in the amount of time that you spend in the truck on the job at Walmart private fleet to find out what you're getting paid hourly, because that is what it's really all about. It's not about a lifestyle. It's not about anything. If you're new, it might be about getting your experience at Walmart private fleet and then getting out and getting a better job once you realize that you're not making shit at Walmart private fleet. But so we got the $110,000, right? So let's break it down and find out what you're getting paid hourly at Walmart private fleet. All right, so check it out. So we got 24 hours in a day. All right. Let me open up my my calculator. Or not. I'll just do it right here. Let's see. 110, 110, and we got 24 hours in a day times 5. So we got 120 hours a week. Shit. Times 4 days. 4 weeks out of the month. So we got, Jesus Christ, that light. 480, right? That's how many hours you spend at work per month at Walmart private fleet to make that $110,000, right? Okay, we got it. We got it. We got it. So let's multiply that by 12 throughout the year. And mm, no, not 12, because I think let's multiply that by 11, right? Let me do the math on that. 24 times 5, 120 times 4, 480, 480, right? Let me make sure I'm doing it right. 24 hours in a day times 5 days a week is 120 hours times 4 weeks in a month is 480 times 11, because you get a month off of PTO. You get 30 days PTO, I believe, with Walmart Private Fleet. So in total, you're spending 5,280 hours at Walmart Private Fleet to make $110,000. Okay. So 5,280, 110,000. That's what they market their salary at Walmart Private Fleet for the Class A truck drivers. Now let's divide that by 5,280, 5,280 hours, and you end up making $20 an hour at Walmart Private Fleet as a Class A truck driver. Voila, 110 grand. You see why it's so bullshit? You see why it's such bullshit? This is Walmart. Never forget, dude. This is Walmart we're talking about. Okay? Shit keeps freezing. Damn. Sorry about that. There's nothing I could do. That's my Wi-Fi. I had to come to the back of the house. Um, let's see. Let me catch up on these comments. Go back to CR England? Never. Never. I would never go back to over-the-road trucking. Dude, I'm making more money doing a local job that I got from a temp agency. I'm making $10 more an hour than guys at Walmart Private Fleet. Think about that. And I got all the benefits. I got healthcare, dental, vision, 401k, all of it. We're non-union, the job that I'm at right now. And then when I go to this other job, which is another local truck driving job right here in the Bay Area, I'm going to be making 37 an hour. Now that's $17 more an hour that I'm going to be making on a local truck driving job versus Walmart Private Fleet and their $110,000. It's so misleading. It's so misleading, dude. You're not off the job until you're at home and you're off of the job site. When you're with the truck, you're on the job site. It is what it is. We got to get the facts straight. So if you want to come into trucking, having that 1 year or even 2 years struggling at a mega carrier is going to advance your career, because after you're the 2-year mark, you're going to be able to step into all these local truck driving jobs. And let me say this: there's competition. You don't just let me just take back what I said. You don't just step in to these local truck driving roles. You just don't do that. What you do is you compete, because people that are smart, people that know, people that are aware of the bullshit, right? I mean, fuck what you see right here on YouTube. Get out in the real world and talk to real Class A truckers, right? And they'll tell you the money isn't local. The money isn't breaking down the pallet. I had this veterano tell me this at Manteca at Walmart. He was working for Pepsi from a union yard, and he said he was making about 110,000. Right? He even said 1 year he cracked 150,000 at Pepsi, right? Out of Tracy, California. And I was at CR England. It was like 6 in the morning. I was out all night. I was getting the last of my freight unloaded off of the truck at Walmart. And he said, "Dude, what are you doing working for CR England?" And I was like, trying to get the experience that I need. Like, I was barely like a year in, and I wanted to get at least 2 to 3 years with CR England under my belt. I got 2.5 before I bounced, just because I wasn't making that money at all near the end of it. And he told me, "Dude, the money is not in over the road. The money is not in staying out. The money is in local truck driving. The money in trucking is in breaking down the pallet like Pepsi, or 7 Up or Coca-Cola, or even like like beer or whatever, you tend to get paid a little less in beer, like a lot less hauling beer. But tankers, anything where you're getting paid hourly, homeboy was telling me, you got to get paid hourly, right? Because this bullshit that they're selling you guys on, like, oh, they tell you guys the salary and cents per mile and all that. Nah, dude, you're waiting on loading docks. You're not getting paid until 2 hours later, while they're unloading your truck. Then you start getting paid hourly for your wait time. You're giving away so much free time. When you're a truck driver in a sleeper cab and you get your truck unloaded, the first 2 hours are given away for free at these trucking companies, right? There might be some that are unionized or whatever, or that do pay you right on the spot. Good for them. 99% of these trucking companies that run sleeper cabs, whether they're line haul, dedicated, regional, especially over the road, pretty much damn near all of the over the road trucking companies, you're getting paid nothing when you get the truck unloaded. The only time you make money is when the wheels are turning. Once the wheels stop turning, you stop earning, right? And that's bullshit. That should be illegal. That should not be allowed. But that's what these trucking companies do. You know what I mean? Let me get to some of these. And that's why I would never go back to CR England. The money isn't local. Know that. Now that I knew this. I knew all this when I was running over the road. I did the numbers in my head and I was like, dude, and that's Walmart private fleet. That's good for an over the road truck driver. $20 an hour. There's store associates that are making $2 less for stocking shelves. But this is still good because most trucking companies you get paid like 55, 57 a year, right? So it ends up being like less than minimum wage because the over the road trucking companies, you don't go home every weekend. You go home once in a while and it's called home time. And the rest of the time you're spent out on the road making nothing. You know what I mean? It's bullshit. It is bullshit. There is no money in over the road trucking. None. And for the owner operators, just take a look at them. Don't take my word for it. Go on YouTube, do your research, and look at all these owner operators that are going out of business, that are getting scammed by like Super Ego and all of these like brokers. And dude, the whole industry, over the road trucking, it's collapsing. It's collapsing before our eyes. And now this AI is already running freight over the road across country and shit. It's dead, homie. It's dead. You get your experience in over the road and then you get a local trucking job. That's where you make your money. You know what I mean? Let me get to some of these comments. Did you ever, let me see. From Houston, what's up? Shout out to Houston, Texas. Yeah, there is no money in OTR. I'm about to quit. I'm working for Swift right now. Yeah, see, here's the thing. So the average paycheck at Swift for an over the road truck driver is about $700 to $800 a week. You know what I mean? When you're running over the road at Swift, you make more. The way that you see 100 grand or 110 grand at Swift, Knight, CR England is when you're a mentor, is when you have someone or more than one person in your truck. You know what I mean? When you got like when at CR England, they were training two students at a time. I got trained with me, another student, and the mentor. So there was three of us in the sleeper cab. It was like living in a shit house. It was so disgusting in there. And these guys would snore. They both had sleep apnea so bad, so I never got any sleep. And I was sleeping in the bunk above the driver's seat and the passenger seat. So I was like curled up like this, dude, and the ceiling was like right there. Because I was the young buck, and the mentor and the other student, they were old men. They were older guys, so I didn't want to, like have the OG sleep on the fucked up bed. I'm the youngster, I could take it, so I slept in the fucked up bed, so OG could have a better night's sleep. You know what I mean? Because I'm the young buck, right? But that's where you make money. Then you'll make 110,000, but it's gonna end up being like that would probably end up being like 14 or $15 an hour. Because over the road truck drivers, especially mentors at CR England, Swift, they go home probably once a month. Then you gotta do the calculations on that. So let's see how bad it is at Swift. The average Swift driver, they rarely even see like $1,000 on a paycheck. Every now and then you'll see it, but for the most part, 800, 900 is what you'll see. And that's running really fucking hard. That's getting in your truck, running until you're down to like 30 minutes, right? And you still have to, on your logs, they still have to see that you did at least a 10 to 15-minute pre trip inspection and a post trip inspection at the end of your run, right? Dude, that's getting up, literally, taking a shit, brushing your teeth, maybe taking a shower. Sometimes you just don't take a shower, which is disgusting, which is for a man, which is really disgusting. The wipes or whatever, dude wipes, no, it's just disgusting, dude. That's taking a shit, grabbing coffee, getting something to eat, like sometimes even a bag of chips, maybe 2 or 3 bags of chips, and then you just snack on the road and you're just running. You're just running. You're taking your breaks at rest stops, rest areas, and you're just running, stopping at a truck stop to get, fuel and coffee, and maybe some lunch, and you're literally driving and eating your Subway sandwich or whatever right there on the little cooler that you got in the middle of the truck, you know what I mean, right next to your driver's seat. And that's running. That's doing 10 to 11 hours of driving with loading and getting unloaded and going in and out of shipping and receivers. It ends up being about 14 hours a day, which is a 10-hour sleep, which isn't really a lot of time off work. It's really not. You might think, but dude, you would want time to get off work, unwind, maybe watch a movie. No, 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 no. When you get off work from running 14 hours, your best bet, because you're going to need it for the next day, is to take a shower, and you're going to have to schedule it at Petro. Like you're going to have to, like, as soon as you park, boom, you got to get in the queue. Because if not, you're going to be waiting sometimes like an hour or two to get into a shower. You know what I mean? So you got to get into the queue right away. Take a shower, get something to eat if they're still open. If you end up like me, or many other truck drivers where, yeah, you want to start early, but it doesn't matter when you want to start. It matters when the freight needs to be delivered, what your appointment time is. If your appointment time is set for like 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning or in the afternoon, you might not stop running until 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. or 2 or 3 a.m., right? Where you might not even find truck parking at a truck stop. And if you do, you might have to pay for it. And Swift, they don't reimburse you. Night Transportation didn't reimburse for parking, and neither did CR England. So you're paying to be out there. You're paying to go to work. Ain't that a bitch? You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. That's running, taking a shower, and then going to sleep because you need as much sleep as you can to run that hard. 6, sometimes 7 days a week. You know what I mean? If you're running recaps and you could go and you could work like 7 or 8 days or whatever, trust me, it happens. A lot of people think that they don't pull it off, they pull it off. Because one week you might be running a little less just because they don't have a lot of freight or it's a slow week or whatever. Then the next week you're running and you're running on recaps. So you got all these hours from last week. So you're running like 6 or 7 days straight. Then that's when you'll see like $1,000 on a check. You busted your ass. So let's say like the average paycheck, let's say it's about 850 at Swift. And that's after taxes. That's what you take home in your pocket. So let's calculate that, right? And you go home probably like one weekend out of the month to keep it real. And I'm not lying or exaggerating. You go home about one weekend out of the month. Sometimes you don't go home all month. But let's just say. So we got 850, right? 850. Let's multiply that by 4 weeks. So we got $3,400 at Swift a month, which sounds decent. It's not a lot of money, but it sounds decent, right? Let's multiply that by 12 weeks. 40K, right? 4,800, not even 50 grand. You know what I mean? Let's give it some more love because every now and then you'll see a little bit more. And if you mentor, you'll get a little bit more. Let's be real generous and say you're making $65,000 a year at Swift. I don't want to beat Swift up too bad, right? But a lot of guys are seeing around 56 grand a year at Swift, right? So let's say what you got 24 hours in a day and you're out there 7 days a week. So you're spending 168 hours a week at Swift or night CR England, Prime, Warner, right? And let's multiply that by 3 weeks, 504 for 3 weeks. We got 504, 24 hours a day times five, 120. That's the weekend that you go, that's the week that you go home, plus that 504, I think it was. Might be a little off. 624 hours. That's how much you work in a month at Swift or England or any mega carrier, right? Give or take. And so we got 624 hours times 12. So at a mega carrier, you're working around 7,500 hours, right? 7,488 hours is what you spend at work for Swift, CR England, Night Transportation, the mega carriers, right? Let's round it up and say, let's round it down. Let's say 7,400 hours, right? Let's be generous here. So we got that 65 grand, right? And let's multiply it. I mean, let's divide it by 7,400 hours on the job per year. So we're taking per year pay plus per year hours at Swift. And you end up making $8 and like 78 cents an hour. And let's not kid ourselves. You're a truck driver. Whether you're shifting gears or not, you're a truck driver. You're doing a very dangerous job. You're hauling a 53-foot trailer in a sleeper cab, right? You got to worry about clearances. You got to worry about chaining up. You got to worry about, using your jag brake. You got to worry about scanning ahead. You got to worry about get out and look. You got to worry about other traffic. You got to worry about having your permits and your IFTA stickers and being able to do a correct pre-trip. That way, when DOT does a pre-trip, you're not getting CSA points. Ugh, for $8 an hour? Fuck that. That is terrible. But that's what you're going to be making, give or take, in your first year. My first year, I made a little bit more than that at CR England. My first year at CR England, I'm not going to lie, I was bringing home after tax around 1,500 a week. I was doing all right, right? I was still spending a lot of time, but at least at my yard, I was doing a lot of shit in Bakersfield. I was hanging out with friends. I was going to the mall. I was fucking around with this broad right there in Bakersfield. I was going out to LA. I was spending like my weekends out in like Long Beach or Santa Barbara or over there in Pismo Beach. Like I would park the truck like at the Lakewood Walmart or somewhere else or at the God, whatever that small town is right next to Pismo Beach off of 101, and I go kick it at Pismo Beach, or I'd park at Oxnard and take Uber up to Santa Barbara. I was having fun. I was making good money. That was for the first year, but then they started adding more and more and more and more and more drivers to where my paychecks went down from like 1,500 a week to like 600 or sometimes $500 a week at CR England because I would go and check in at dispatch and they'd say, "Look, dude, you want to take the day off?" It would be like I would come up to the office um, after my 2 days off, and which I might have spent right there in Bakersfield, like in my truck, and then going to the gym and coming back, whatever. Which I'll take it. It might have been my fault, but how the hell am I going to move out and get a spot right there in Bakersfield if I'm not even seeing $1,000 on a paycheck? I don't even think I would qualify for an apartment at that point. But that's what it went down to. I would come back after my weekend, I'd check in and be like, "Hey, I'm ready to work." "Oh, you want to take the day off? The freight's kind of slow right now." Dude, right? But they would give consistent freight to like the people that would kiss ass and shit. They're their little favorites. But nevertheless, the freight was drying up because they added so many employees to the account. But yeah, you're going to be doing that for the first 1 to 2 years. Then after that, you go local and you'll be able to get into a spot like mine. Do this, what I'm doing now. I thought I wanted to go to Walmart Private Fleet. I thought I wanted to go to Martin. I wanted to go to Martin to be a YouTuber, right? Which when I got to Martin and I saw that they do have driver facing cameras, they say they don't, but they do have driver facing cameras. I was like, I can't do YouTube over here, right? I wanted to do what I'm doing now and be able to get road footage like with a GoPro or with like smart glasses or whatever. But the money is not with Walmart Private Fleet. It's not. It's not. The money is not with anything that has to do where you get home time. You get your 2 years in where you are doing home time when you're running over the road for a mega carrier. Get your 2 years experience in, and then you get on a local job where you're getting paid hourly, where it's honest, because that's what it really is. It comes down to these companies being honest with the drivers. Oh, we're going to pay you $110,000, but you're only going to go home 2 days out of the week. Hold on. So I'm at work 5 days a week and I'm never off the clock, right? Because you're paying me to be in the sleeper. You're paying me $45 a night, which for the sleeper hours, let's break down to what that is in hours. $45 a night divided by 10 hours on the sleeper. They're paying you $4.05 to be on sleeper berth. Big shit. Big deal. Dude, big fucking deal. And here's the thing. These trucking companies like CR England, not just Walmart Private Fleet, but like Night Transportation, they got the money to pay their over-the-road truck drivers hourly, and they don't. They don't, and they're not gonna. You know why they're not gonna? Because they're investing in AI. They're investing into driverless trucks to get rid of those over-the-road truck drivers altogether. Is trucking a dying industry? I honestly believe that it is. I believe that it's not. It's definitely not on the incline. It's on the decline. It is. But can you make money in a dying industry? Sure. I think the people that are getting into trucking now, I think they're going to be the last of the Mohicans. It's something worth getting into if you want to, like, even if you're doing local, right? If you want to, like, get roommates and get just a room, rent out a room, so you pocket the rest of your paycheck and get a little beater car and save up money. Um, and then I don't know, maybe with that money, you put yourself through school, you start a business, you go put yourself in a trade school, maybe not even college, but a trade school to become like an elevator mechanic or an electrician or something else. Then, but the people that are doing trucking now, I honestly believe that we're the last of the Mohicans, especially with this AI stuff coming into the market, taking our jobs. I don't think trucking is going to be the same in the next 30 years. It's not. A lot of it's going to be automated, which means the pay is going to significantly go down. And it doesn't matter if you're union or not. Once the pay starts going down overall in the trucking industry, a union's not going to save you. Those unions, this is what's going to happen to those union trucking companies when AI comes in and the driver is really obsolete because the technology is so good that the driver is just not needed. You know what I mean? Those union companies like UPS, ABF, Cisco, US Foods, if they don't get rid of their drivers, they're going to go out of business because another food service company is going to come up or another ABF, LTL company is going to come up that, you know, that focuses on driverless equipment to where it's cheaper to haul the freight and the customers like Chipotle or whatever, or the school district that gets their food from that gets their deliveries from US Food. No, now they're going to go to, you know, New Mexico Foods or Arizona Foods or whatever the food service company is that's more driverless, to where now they're paying half of the cost for that shipment because there's only a safety driver rather than a full-on truck driver. So those union companies, they're going to go bankrupt. They're going to go out of business because not only do they got to pay all this money to the truck drivers, which I understand, it's a good thing for the truck drivers. Fight back, get your money. I'm with you. But we got to think about reality here. You know, when driverless technology comes in, the Teamsters aren't going to save you because technology is going to win. The market ultimately decides what's going to happen to an industry, right? And when the truck driver is no longer needed, goodbye US Foods, Cisco, ABF, maybe even UPS, believe it or not. If they don't switch to this driverless technology, I mean, this isn't like Tesla or anything. No, this is where these companies get their freight. And why pay all this money with these guys if I could slash my freight bill in half with these guys because they're driverless? I'm not worried about safety. I don't give a fuck. I'm Chipotle. I need my, my carne asada and beans and rice to make my burritos at my restaurant. I don't care how it gets here. How much am I paying? And is it the same product? That's it. And if this AI company is charging me $50 per shipment when you're charging me $100, just for an example, I'm going to go with the AI company. It's a dying industry. You could still make money in this shit. You can, right? If you get into it right now, you're going to be the last of the Mohicans. I honestly believe that. And to the YouTubers on here that get mad at that, fuck off, dude. Who cares? Get mad. Go tell your wife that I pissed you off. Let's see. Mr. U-turn and got into downtown Portland in a sleeper cab, stressful as hell. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Missed a turn. Oh, missed a turn, not a U-turn. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Line haul is pretty much over the road. You're going across countries. What I believe line haul is you know you're going from like California to Florida, but you're going in that straight line. You're not going from like California, Montana to Florida to New Jersey to Utah to Washington and then to California. That's over the road. Line haul, you're just running like, and usually it's shorter than that. It's usually like from like LA to Arizona or LA to New Mexico and back or LA to El Paso and back, just in that straight line, right? On the 10 or whatever, or line haul Highway 5 from San Diego to Seattle, just up and down that line. You know what I mean? Something simple like that, where you're just on like the same freeway, you're just running up a line. Or if you do cross a freeway, if you go from like 5 to 101 or 5 to 99 and then back to the 5 or something, you're just going straight. You know what I mean? Like you're not going all over the country. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong, but nevertheless, they got all these names. You're crossing state lines. It's all the same. It's all the same, dude. You're not home. You're living out of a hotel or out of the truck. Um, it's over the road. It's over the road freight. Tomato, tomato. You know. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Your videos crack me up. Thank you. Appreciate that. Glad I could crack you up. DOT gave me 300 overweight, half my paycheck at Swift. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. That sucks. You got to learn how to move those tandems to adjust the weight. The key to that is move towards your problem, right? If your weight is heavier on your drives, then you got to move the tandems towards the drives. If your weight is heavier towards the ass of the trailer, you got to move the tandems towards the ass of the trailer. Make sure there's no tandem laws in the state that you're going to. Most states don't have it. I think only like California and maybe one or two other states have tandem laws. Um, I'm not the expert. You need to check with your manager. They'll be able to tell you. But yeah, move towards your problem, dude. You gotta know how to shift that weight around on the trailer. Swift pay is ass. That is facts. Take advantage of drivers. Yeah, they're mega carriers, dude. They're all about money. What do you think about ABF Freight? ABF Freight. It sounds like a good job. It does. There's this one weirdo dude that works there that's looks like he's milking workman's comp. Um, besides that, I mean, I see them all around here in the Bay Area. I think they're out of the Central Valley. I don't think there's an ABF yard in my town in Hayward, but it seems like a good company to work for. Let me take that back. Let me take that back. They're another trucking company. From what I hear, they're unionized too, and it seems like they're fighting back against the union. ABF. No business owner wants a union in their business, right? Nobody wants that because ultimately what it means is they have to pay the employees more. The employees want unions. The employer does not want a union. So there's this battle, right? I want to get a union job because they pay more out here in the Bay Area. I got my eye on one specifically. You know what I mean? But what I hear is what's going on with ABF now is they got this new contract after not too long after Yellow went out of business. And when Yellow went out of business, they hired up a lot of those drivers onto ABF. And that's the same thing that CR England did, except for they just got drivers off the street into their trucking program and some with experience. So ABF, it sounds like they hired more drivers than there is freight available. And the reason why trucking companies do that is because the freight moves faster and smoother. Just think of it. If I got a room full of boxes and I only got 5 guys to move these boxes, the boxes are going to move slow. If I got 500 guys to move this room full of boxes, I'm going to get it done in just a few hours rather than in a few days. You get what I'm saying? It's the same thing with trucking companies. And, they could pay those 500 guys shit. They could pay them so little because the job's getting done so fast. You see what I'm saying? Rather than they got to spend all this money on these 5 guys and give them health care and give them, a pension and all this shit because it's just 5 guys and they're taking their time moving these boxes because they just can't move them that fast because they're only 5 guys and I got a room full of shit. That's why trucking companies do it to save money, so they don't got to pay anybody, and so the freight moves so quick and efficient to the point where they can even lay people off because they just don't need them. They got them on call, and what they usually do is they put them in a queue, and the more seniority you have, you go up in the queue. And what I hear ABF is doing, some of their drivers are only working like one weekend out of the month, sometimes if that, and the rest of the time they're like on unemployment or whatever. It's a fucking mess, dude. They did that after that contract that the Teamsters negotiated with ABF. So ABF said, if we got to pay these guys whatever an hour, right there, if we got to give them their raise, then we're just going to hire on a lot of drivers and lay everybody off. That way, no one's getting paid. You know what I'm saying? So ABF is definitely fighting against the Teamsters, and it seems like they're winning. It's a mess, dude. I don't know. It's a fucking job. That's what I know, dude. I mean, if you don't like that, you can, you could hurt your shoulder for a year and go on workman's comp. That seems to work for some people, especially on YouTube when they do red pill videos. Or you could just get another job. I would just get another job. There's a truck driver from ABF called the Army Vet Truck Driver or the Army Veteran Truck Driver, and that's what Homeboy did. He's in the military, obviously, and he went to Border Patrol. He went to go work Border Patrol. I think he got it through the military or whatever, and he still gets to keep all his benefits because he's, I guess, collecting unemployment and working for the government at the same time or something like that. I don't know. Whatever he's doing is legit. It's not like the other guy that's like milking workman's comp, right? The other guy, Army Vet Truck Driver, he did what like an honest man would do. He just went and got another job. Right? He didn't weasel his way around it to where he could probably get like in a lot of trouble. You know what I mean? But I brought Homeboy up because you asked about ABF, and those are the 2 guys that are well known from ABF on YouTube. Is the weirdo and the veteran guy. That's true. If you're away from home, you can't count pay for your sleep time, so you're working for free. Exactly. You're giving away a lot of free time. The money is in local truck driving. That's where the money is. You know what I mean? Been driving for 2 years or since OTR since day one. It's all I know, so I'm used to it. That's all good. Fast food pays more than OTR. Yeah. Like people at In-N-Out, they're probably making more money if they're working a full 40 or full 50, plus some overtime. They're making more on a consistent basis than some guys at Swift. And that's not right. That's definitely not right, bro. Because the guy at Swift is doing a job that's way more dangerous than flipping burgers. Let's see. Their micromanaging is out of control on OTR, driver facing cameras, safety calling about every little thing. Yeah, dude, that's safety wasn't really down my throat at CR England, but yeah, who was down my throat was the fatigue manager at CR England. Every night I was like, "Hola, Agustin, that's fatigue manager for CR England. How are you feeling tonight?" Motherfucker, I'm good. Just like the other 100-something nights that you've been calling me, dude. I am fine. I know it's 2 a.m, but dude, I'm good. How are you doing tonight? Oh, just fine. Let me go over the 5 key safety practices for this week. Listen to your favorite podcast to keep you to keep you from getting sleepy. keep both hands on the steering wheel, always scan ahead, um, always brake early, and all the it's just like, dude, fuck off, man. Oh man. Um, let's see. Walmart greeters get paid more per hour than the driver, and he gets to go home after his shift. Going home isn't that important to some people. It should be. Let me tell you why it should be. Going home should be very important because that's how you make money is by getting off work and being done with work. That's how you make money. You don't make money staying at work for free. You're not making money like that. You're getting fucked. You know what I'm saying? Money should money and going home and getting off work should matter because that's how you honestly make money. That's just it has to be cut and dry. I'm gonna pay you $30 an hour to deliver this freight. Cool, I'm with it. I'm gonna pay you $35 an hour to drive this garbage truck or this school bus or this semi truck. Cool, I'm with it. I'm gonna pay you 110 grand a year to go home 2 days out of the week. Fuck off. You know what I mean? I'm gonna pay you 55 cents per mile. And you could possibly make $100,000, right? Top pay at Swift or Night Transportation, top earners at the company earn more than $95,000 a year at 55 cents per mile. Fuck off, dude. Pay me per hour. Stop fucking around. You know, they got the money to do it. They just don't. They're not going to do it. If you enjoy your job, you don't ever have to work a day in your life. It's all about the money. It should always be about the money. It should, you know. I would enjoy my job if I was like, I don't know, like an adult film star. I would really enjoy my job. Then I thought about doing that. You know, I mean, I still might, right? Especially since there's OnlyFans, there's a lot of money to be made in that shit, right? I've been working out. I've been working out. I got my beach body almost ready, right? I dropped like 2 pounds these past few weeks, feeling good. But I'm talking shit. But it's all about the money. Do what you love. You got to make money. When it comes to a job, it's all about the money. It is. Have a good how's a good way to get a local trucking job? You're going to have to either start at a warehouse or if you want to speed up the process, dude, just suck it up and do that 1 year at CR England or 2 years at CR England like I did, right? Live in the truck, stack your money. You'll be able to pay off debt like I did. There's some benefits. There is. I'm not going to lie. Um, Living in the truck, I paid off a car loan that was in default. I turned my credit around. Um, I got something out of it. I did. And the experience. It's an apprenticeship. That's ultimately what it is. I mean, this is a trade and it's an apprenticeship when you're a new truck driver. You can't just get your CDL and then hit up these trucking companies or these jobs that I'm hitting up that all require a year to 2 years experience. And they're going to start you off at something crazy like 37 an hour. The insurance companies, it's not that I'm sure you could probably even do the job, probably fresh out of trucking school. You might hit something here and there, but you can most likely do the job, even with no experience, especially doing the job that I'm doing. Where I'm not even in a semi right now. I'm in a straight truck. And at the food service job, I was pushing like I think 45-foot trailers, 48-foot trailers. I think we had 153. Um, you could probably do the job, but the insurance companies that these trucking companies and that these shippers use, they don't cover drivers that aren't experienced for the most part, right? The only reason why the mega carriers are able to hire on people with no experience is because they get their insurance through their own incorporated company. They insure themselves, so they can hire whoever the fuck they want. You know what I mean? They diversify their business to where they got cash flow coming from CR England Insurance, CR England this, that, night transportation, this, night transportation. They make way more money than just trucking, right? They're into like real estate and all other venues within night transportation. They're self-insured. You might have to go to night transportation for a year to knock it out. Here's the thing, though: the clock's ticking. That year's gonna pass you by, right? Um, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. It'll be the same thing as if when you're an apprentice carpenter. It's all the same thing. What I'm saying is, it's not worth it to do a whole career in over the road, line haul, regional. So not worth it. Now that I'm doing local, this is where you're gonna make your money. Hardcore truck driver for 5 years straight, and you can own a house, or hardcore truck driver for 5 years straight, and you can own a house, or you can live in your parents' house at 40. Um, all the companies you worked for were low pay OTR. All of OTR is low pay. All of it. All of OTR is low pay. You don't make nothing on OTR. You don't. Hazmat, $36 an hour to 42 per hour plus overtime. Yeah, I believe that. Um, honestly, $36 an hour, if you really think about the risk that you're taking on with hauling hazmat, that's low. Hazmat should be starting you off at like 57 an hour, maybe even 60 an hour to haul fuel, especially chemical tankers. Look, the hauling fuel isn't where the money's at either. It's not. Chemical tanker, that's where the money's at when you're doing like when you're hauling weird shit like ammonia or refrigerated pressurized oxygen or whatever the fuck, or like you're hauling like CO2 or nitrogen or petroleum or something crazy like that, you know what I mean? Or like um I think like you're hauling stuff to like refrigeration plants, like where it gets like way more scientific and shit. And there's like a process with unloading the tank, you know what I mean? That's where the money's at. Those guys, they usually start off at like 45, some of them 50 an hour that I knew about right there in Bakersfield when I was living in Bakersfield. Fuel drivers are underpaid. That's fucked up that you're driving a tank that could blow up for $36 an hour. That's too low. Dude, I'm gonna be hauling general freight, which I'm with it's going with it's through a temp agency, so they don't want to tell me. But I think it might be XPO or just like another small shipper, kind of like the one that I was at in Union City. But dude, it's a little 26-foot trailer with this with the day cab, and I'm gonna be getting paid 37 an hour. So I'm gonna be getting paid more than someone hauling fuel. And I'm just doing a little baby trailer with touch freight. Fuel drivers are underpaid. They are underpaid, right? Some people want to be employees and some want to be their own boss. Well, yeah, yeah, for sure, dude. That's look, off topic. My next venture is I'm right now. Someone asked me if I'm looking for somewhere to live. Yeah, I'm moving out of my folks' house in the next 2-3 weeks at the most. Probably right here in my same town because my next job is going to be right here in the same town that I'm at. And the room that I move into is going to be my studio, and I'm going to be starting a second YouTube channel. I'm going to be starting a podcast. I want to be bigger than No Jumper, Howard Stern, Joe Rogan. So it's going to take a while. I'm going to be building up a team. I'm going to be setting up the studio, buying equipment like microphones and B and C cams and tripods and moving tripods and everything, and finding an editor that I'm going to hire. I'm going to outsource the editing. Yeah, the goal is definitely to be your own boss, but tonight we're talking about trucking. It's all good. I know a lot of people like it when I talk about trucking, and that's what I've been doing in my vlogs. So yeah, we might as well talk about it. Let's see. I have a trade before trucking, home every day, and all that. I'm much happier OTR without a boss in my ear, and I don't break a sweat. Period. That's cool. You still have a boss though. At the end of the day, you do, unless if you own the truck. And then when you own the truck, the people that you're moving the freight for, they're your boss. You're always going to have a boss. Get over that. You're never your own boss, right? Whether you own a business, whoever your customer is, they're your boss, right? Like me on YouTube, um to an extent the viewers are my boss, right? Even if I'm trying to attract a different crowd, like by starting a new channel, the numbers, the likes and the comments and the subscribers, those are my bosses. As a YouTuber, you always have a boss, right? You're never going to be your own boss. 37 is big money player. It's good. It's good, especially for the little baby truck that I'm going to be driving. I can respect that, right? The thing is, it's honest. It's not like over the road. Oh, you're going to make 55 cents per mile. You're going to make $70,000 a year. Fuck no, dude. I'm not going to make shit on over the road. I did that shit, dude. I didn't make no. I didn't make shit, bro. Let's see. Just never assume that every OTR guy you see is making less than you because that's big cap. It's not big cap. It's the truth. You make more money local than you do over the road. Big 1400, big 1400 UCK going on. What the fuck kind of username is that? Dude, what it sounds like this guy is talking about is he he has a lot of pride because he's doing over the road. Look, this is the problem with men. When you criticize how they make money or anything about them, they get like this little dick energy, right? And they get pissed off. They say, "Oh no, don't assume that every over the road truck driver is making less than you because that's cap." They are because I clock in for 8 to 10 hours and then I go home and I get my paycheck and it's consistent and it's honest, right? I'm not staying out in a sleeper cab for free. I'm not waiting to get my trailer unloaded for free, right? I'm not sitting in traffic for free. I'm getting paid for everything that I do at work when I clock in. And in that time in between, before I clock out, I'm getting paid for everything. Yeah. Yeah. No. Over the road truck drivers, they are getting paid less than local truck drivers. Period. Period. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear if you're mad about that, then maybe if you really do the math, like I busted down the math with a Walmart private fleet driver making around $18 to $20 an hour. If that upsets you, then you need to reassess things, right? If that really makes you mad, it's not me that you're mad at, it's you, because you realize that you're not making a lot of money for the amount of time that you're at work. And if you have the experience, you need to get off over the road trucking if you really want to see money. If you really want an honest paycheck, if you want to stop being fucked around and dicked around, right? By these trucking companies that, they show you these big numbers. And then when you do the math, it ends up being like $8 an hour. No, the money isn't local. That's where the money's at. Cisco, US Foods, like even like these small, dude, I was getting paid $28 an hour. I was working like 15-hour shifts, which was totally illegal at this company in Decoto in Union City right here in the Bay. And dude, with all that overtime, I was bringing home like 1,500 a week, and sometimes even like 1,300 a week when it was 5 days straight. When I would work those same hours over the road, I would bring in like 750 or not even $1,000 a week on over the road trucking. And it was way more hours than that because I was staying out in a sleeper, right? The money isn't local. And if you've never done local truck driving, big 1,400, whatever the fuck, get into local truck driving because it sounds to me like you like money. And if you like money, you got to get off over the road. You have to. Swifty Swift talking about not making money, of course. Smell was terrible. Yeah. 3 bunks should be illegal. It was pretty nasty in that sleeper. But yeah, right now I'm looking for a place. I'm moving out pretty soon. 3 stinky truckers on a truck is inhumane. It was disgusting. It was like living in a shit house, dude. It was so bad. But you know what? There was a student before that got off the truck because it was just too much for him. He was getting stressed out, and he realized how him that early in the game, just in training, he realized how little he was getting paid for the amount of time that he was putting into this job. And he realized, no, I'm not being a truck driver. This is bullshit. He was a bus driver from San Francisco. Matter of fact, he was bus driving in the city, not for Muni, but I think for like one of these like bus companies that worked for Google or Stanford or something. And he was getting paid hourly. And then he came on to over the road to get a class A because he had a class B, and then he realized, hold on, dude, they don't make shit. I'm out. Um, so yeah, fucking. So he left, and then we picked up this like military veteran guy, and and then yeah, dude, me, I just wanted to get through it. I just wanted to get through it, and near the end of it, my trainer was keeping me out there, just milking me like for the hours and for the money, for the extra money. He was milking both of us, our work. You know what I'm saying? That sounded weird the way I said that. He was using us. Let me say that, right? He was just using us to get more money on his paycheck because maybe they didn't have students ready for him. And I think when they had students ready for him, then he, put us back in California and signed off that we were done. I just wanted to get through the training so I could just move it along. You know what I mean? So I saved it out. But fuck, it was disgusting, dude. Um, Always in pre-planning mode and OTR. Exactly. Oh, I mean, I pre-planned too, but now that I know my route, and that's another thing. When you do local, you know your route, right? You might be bouncing around, especially if you work for a trash company and you got to cover other routes, um, like for waste management or like Republic Services or something. But eventually, you get your own route. And let's be honest, if you're covering the Bay Area and you got to bounce between like 5 or 7 different routes within like 2 years, if you're bouncing around these routes, you're going to get to know those too. It's not like over the road where, oh, I wake up in Phoenix, and then I go to sleep in Utah, and then I go to sleep in Idaho, and then I go to sleep in Montana or Washington or Maine or Virginia or Colorado. Or it's fuck that, dude. No, no, thank you. Local trucking needs guys with this mindset. Just do adult content, 5 to 10K per month. Yeah, for sure. But shoot, hey, Mike T, he ain't even trolling, right? If you know people in the industry like I do, motherfuckers make money, dude. Motherfuckers make big money. And if you're about money, I mean, some guys say that they're not for sale. Um, Dude, I would definitely bang broads on camera for big money like that. I mean, dude, you're a straight up G at that point, right? A lot of like the red pillars and even like guys who say they're pimps, they say like they look down on guys that are in the adult industry, but a lot of those guys are in the closet. Pimps too. A lot of those guys are like sus in the closet. Get your money, homeboy. If you want to do adult work, go and get your money, man. That's what I say. F the reefer drivers who park next to go park next to other that was me, dude. I was a reefer driver at CR England. I was doing dry van at night transportation. But CR England, 90% of their company is reefer. That thing is loud, bro. Here's a trick when you're driving a reefer, when you're doing reefer, especially on a frozen load. So a frozen load, the reefer is running way louder than just like 32 degrees or 40 degrees produce or dairy. When you're doing like ice cream and shit, oh man, that thing's gonna be so loud. So what you do is this: you drop the landing gear, you disconnect from the trailer, and that way you're not just up on the reefer, and you still stay in front of your trailer, but give yourself a little bit of a gap. You know what I mean? Even at a truck stop, you can get away with it. You unhook from the trailer, put the landing gear down so the fucking thing doesn't fall, um, and give yourself a little bit of a gap to get off of the reefer, and you'll notice the difference. And at that point, you'll still hear it, but you'll hear it the same way that you hear the other trucks that are next to you. It's not like you're right on it and you're trying to sleep with no, you know. It's like a truck that's regenerating all night. I net a little over 1K every week and home every weekend. Why are Swift drivers only making 700 to 800? Because, dude, that happens. That happens a lot. It does. Swift night transportation. It does. There's guys that are running their fucking ass off that aren't seeing $1,000. It happens. Maybe the account that you're on, the lane that you're on, the CPM is a little higher, but a lot of the over the road guys, especially when they're doing a dry box, a lot of them aren't seeing $1,000 at Swift. That's definitely a thing. You're probably in a good lane. That's probably what it is. I wouldn't be surprised if you do the math on Western Express drivers and they make less than $1. It's laughable, dude. My lips are hella chapped. Y'all got to give me 1 second. I got to go get um some chapstick real quick. I'll be right back. Look. When you got kids around. 1 second. I got to get chapstick, dude. My lips are chapped. Hold up. Damn. Either my internet's slow or I kept a lot of the viewers. I should have gotten a hoodie too. It is fucking freezing back here. Hold up real quick. Um, I'm gonna lose so many viewers right now. I gotta get a hoodie. I'm fucking freezing. I'll be right back. 1 second. Oh, fuck, I'm back. Whew. Yeah, good thing I came back here because my niece is going off right now, dude. Um, y'all would have heard a crying baby in the live stream. Whew. That's way better. Okay, let me go to the recent comments. Living in a storage bin? No, this is the back room. This is the back room right now. What's your opinion on locally LTO companies like OD, ABF, and RL doing line haul and P&D? What's P&D? What does P&D stand for? Um, I see P&D. What is that? Look, I never uh, said I was the expert on anything. Pickup and delivery. I don't- Dude, that's pretty much, dude. Why do they come up with all these weird ass like nicknames? Pickup and delivery. That's trucking. That's what motherfuckers do. I got my knife back. Um, this was the knife that I used when I was living in a truck to cut fruit and to like, I don't know, like every now and then like cook with and shit. When I would cook in the truck, like every now and then type shit. And when I would cook in the truck, I was doing like what's the like spreads and shit, like the kind of shit they make in jail and all that. Pickup and delivery. Um, well, here's the thing. I don't know the details. I've never worked for Old Dominion. I never ran LTL. Up to now, I've done over the road. I've done dedicated routes, and I've done dedicated over the road, and now local truck driving. Um, I don't know. I've never done LTL. I have my doubles and triples. I have all of my endorsements. I have tankers. I have hazmat. I got my even the twit card. I got doubles and triples. I got everything to run LTL freight. I just haven't done it. Um, basically, city driver. Well, what's a city driver? Am I pretty much a city driver? Because I drive in the city. It's pretty much like local truck driving, right? All these nicknames are the same thing. It's local truck driving. Because I guess that's what I do. It's just local work. Look, as long as you get to go home every day, if you clock in and you clock out, and it's an honest paycheck, and they're not dicking you around, and they're not saying, "Oh, we're going to pay you this cents per mile, or we're going to give you this annually," and then there's like 2 free hours that you give away when you're waiting in the dock and you're getting your truck unloaded, and when you show up to work and you can't clock in because your load isn't ready, so we need you to go wait outside, and detention doesn't start until like an hour or two later. No, if it's clock in, clock out, anything, no matter what nickname they give it, whether, I mean, let's just pretend they call it dog shit and they're paying you 37 an hour to pick up dog shit and put it in the garbage can. That's a good job. That's honest money right there. It's all about just being honest. It's all about the employer being honest with the employee and just telling them, look, dude, this is the job. This is the pay per hour. You get time and a half after 40 hours or whatever it is. You want it or not. Comes with some benefits. When it's dishonest, it's like, oh, I'm going to pay you 45 cents or 50 something cents an hour, and you're going to have all the miles that you can wish for, and you have the possibility to make this big old bag of money. It's like, no, dude, that's bullshit, you know? Yeah, man. I'd probably get used to the smell of dog crap pretty quickly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, dude. If someone said that, um, if someone said that I was going to mop floors or clean up dog shit for $37 an hour, looks like I'm cleaning dog shit for 37 an hour, especially if there's some overtime in that shit. What I'm not going to do is run over the road trucking and get fucked over when I could pick up this dog shit and put it in the garbage can for 37 an hour. I mean, at that point, I'll take my class A and I'll put it in the fucking shredder. That's what I'll do. And I'll go pick up this dog shit over here. I'll do it for 37. Hell yeah, dude. I'll do that shit for 35. You could take $2 off the top. you know My truck school director said trucking was going to change my life. He forgot to finish the sentence for the one. Oh, shit, dude. That was funny. That was hella funny. It's not that bad, dude. It's really not that. I had pizza earlier. Jesus Christ. It's not that bad. When you talk and if you ate something earlier in the day, all of it comes up when you're talking because you're like working your stomach or whatever, right? It's not that bad, dude. Trucking, look, here's the thing. Over the road trucking is not worth it. It's not. It's worth it because you have to do it for the most part to get your experience, but it's not worth it to stay in as a full-time career, especially when there's pensions and fucking, more invested into your 401k and there's honest paychecks at other jobs and even other lines of work. Over the road trucking, no matter who the company is, the way things are now, it's not worth it. If they're not going to pay you an hourly salary, if you're not going to clock in and clock out, then these trucking companies can go fuck themselves. You know what I mean? But the CDL itself is worth it, you know, and it's worth it to even run over the road to get those 1 or 2 years experience. Then you could go work for Waste Management, Republic Services. Um, you know, I think the Class A covers the Class B, so you could maybe go do buses if you got your passenger endorsement with it. If you want to haul tanks, something you could get something hourly where you're gonna need to have that experience, right? So the CDL itself, it's worth it, right? Well, I mean, dude, near the end of being at night transportation, I was just over it. I was tired of these trucking companies just fucking lying to me, dude. I was tired of pretty much just being taken advantage of, right? So I was pissed. And I meant what I said when I said trucking is a dying industry. It is. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. This is a dying industry. It's not on the incline, it's on the decline, and it's been on the decline for some years. But you could still make money in this shit. You can. I'm not going to sit here and say that you can't make money in this dying industry because you can. This isn't like, well, mm, it's dying, probably not as quick as Blockbuster, but it's definitely doing the same thing. It's not, right? It's not, for example, you know what industry, Jesus Christ, that wasn't an earthquake. That was me hitting the table and not having something back here to keep it from shaking. Um, you know what is an industry with um, potential on the uptick? Biotech. Biotech is on the up and up. What else? Cancer research. That's on the up and up. Being a lawyer. That's on the up and up. People are always going to court, right? There's AI coming into trucking. You know what I mean? And AI is already affecting the tech industry. I just said biotech, but that's like a little different. You know what I mean? I know people who work in biotech and they make fucking bank and they're needed at their job. But simple like coders, like programmers, you know what I mean? AI is affecting them bad, dude. That's why there's a lot of layoffs right now. And truck drivers, there's already over the road trucking companies that are driverless, that are out there moving driverless freight with, just a safety driver, where like 90 something percent of the job is completely driverless. And they got someone in there just ready to take over. Plus, there's no shortage of CDL holders, which means that, the market's flooded with drivers. And you definitely see that when you go to get a local trucking job, that you're competing against so many other truck drivers who have experience, right? There's a lot of people that are trying to get into US Foods and Cisco who have clean driving records and they can't because like the competition is just so fucking heavy, dude. Um, this isn't really like a CDL, despite what the media says, it's not in demand. It's not. You can make money in this shit, but having a CDL, a lot of guys, they get cocky. A lot of people get cocky. They get their CDL at trucking school. And what you hear is, oh man, I can get a job anywhere. I can get a job anywhere. You know what that is? Those are people who, not everyone says that. The people that are older, who have experience in life, who know the truth, I didn't hear them saying that. I heard mainly that shit coming from youngsters, people who didn't go to college, who have limited to no work experience, and the work experience they have is limited because they're barely in their 20s. You don't have a lot of experience. When you're in your, like, mid 30s, late 30s, 40s, 50s, now you have life experience, which is humbling, and you know that, "Yeah, I got this CDL, but I also had this welding certificate. I also worked at the post office for a few years, and now I'm collecting my pension from that. So I'm doing this CDL just to bring in some more cash." You know what I mean? I didn't hear the older people saying, "Oh, I got a CDL. I can go work wherever I want. Fuck CR England. I could go over here and over there." And then when they get out and they go apply for these jobs, they realize, wait, I don't have experience. US Foods doesn't want to hire me because I don't have experience. And then a year or two later, oh man, I got my experience. I can go anywhere. And then when they try to go anywhere, they're not getting hired because there's such competition because a lot of people have CDLs. A CDL is not in demand. It's not. But here's the thing. It'll take you some time to get like a good local truck driving job. It will. I mean, for a second, Pepsi out here in Northern California, they had a hiring freeze, just like CR England had a few hiring freezes right here in California because they were getting so many applicants to where they had to like put a pause because they hired too many people to the point where I heard like people were them too were getting like laid off and sent home and shit because they had more drivers than freight available. So having a CDL, it's not in demand like you think. You can make money, but it's definitely on the local side, right? Um, let's see. The glory days of trucking were back in the 60s and the 90s. Yeah, yeah. The glory days when, you wanted to be a truck driver and you were making hella money were back in like the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. In the 90s, that's when they started seeing the real downtick because then, the guys from the 90s, they were trucking in the 70s. A lot of the original truck drivers, they've been done with this line of work for fucking close to 20 or 30 years now. You know what I mean? We're the new guys that are coming into this shit. Um, well, let's be honest. Most of us who should have went to college, and we're probably fuck ups. A lot of us. Let's just keep it real. You know what I mean? Because if we weren't fuck ups, if we were really that smart, we'd be out there on Wall Street. We'd be working for an investment bank, right? We wouldn't be fucking around with a CDL. No, we'd be over there with the white collar cats. Let's just keep it real. You can make money in blue collar work. Fuck yeah, you can make money in blue collar work. But let's just talk about us truck drivers, right? Forget the trades, the unions, all of them, the construction guys, the plumbers, the pipe fitters. We're not talking about them. This isn't about them. This is about CDL holders. Let's keep it the fuck real. All right. If you were really that fucking smart, you wouldn't be fucking around with the CDL. No, you would have graduated from Stanford or Yale or some shit if you were really all that. You know what I mean? Um, we're the new guys on the block. That's who we are. The real truck drivers, they haven't moved a truck since like the 80s. And those were the guys that were bringing in the real money, right? Because that's when the dollar was worth more and the pay was more. I mean, that's when deregulation just happened. And especially before deregulation, that's when they were bringing in a lot of fucking money. Those were the guys who had like not just a home but multiple homes and like cars, and they were living like Wall Streeters. Yeah, at one point a truck driver was damn near living like a Wall Streeter. That's not the case nowadays. That's not. Times have changed, dude. This is not the same truck driving that it was back in the day. Um, wrong ones does not have to go Wrong. One does not have to go OTR to get experience. That's a myth. There are several companies that hire local drivers straight out of CDL school. Yeah, but good luck getting a job at those places because the competition is so heavy. Just like the competition is heavy when you have experience. You know what I mean? Yeah, every now and then the sun shines on a dog's ass, but I'm talking about for the vast amount of people, they're gonna have to suck it up and go OTR. the few people that have gotten these local trucking gigs, like I said, they probably got it in-house. They were probably working in the 7-Up warehouse and then joined their associate to driver program to where they went from the warehouse to the truck, all in-house. Or they might have gotten lucky and some trucking company might have hired them fresh out of school. And these trucking companies don't want to do that because when you're fresh out of school, you're most likely going to ding some shit up on the truck and run up their insurance claims and their maintenance and all that and like their repairs. Most people are going to have to go OTR. It just is what it is. It's been a dying industry for 30 years. Yeah, I'm not the only one saying that. Dude. You know why I did this live stream? I saw a live stream with two cats, two haters. Let's just keep it real. One of them acts like he's not, but he's a hater. Um, so you know why? Look, all bullshit aside, right? You know why I get hate from other YouTubers? It's because I get more views than them. That's what it is. Because ultimately, no matter what they tell you, it's like, oh, I don't do this for the views. I do this to help people. I do this to give out good advice. Fuck off. Fuck off. Dude, you come on YouTube to get views. That's what this game is all about. That's what this game is all about. And if you could help people out in the process, good. But you come on YouTube to make money, to get views, especially when you become a partner and you see that there's money to be made in this shit. If you just wanted to help people out, you would probably come up with about 4 or 5 video ideas on problems that you know the answer to, and you would shoot those videos and just leave it at that. And then the next problem that comes into your mind, that you know the answer to, then you would upload it and just leave it at that. And you would just upload videos every now and then specifically to answer problems for problem solving. But to be a consistent YouTuber where you're consistently uploading like me, like how I try to be, right? Um, how you're just going at it. You're just uploading and you should be getting better with your editing. You're on here trying to grow. You're trying to grow. You're trying to get more subscribers. You're trying to get more views, which ultimately equals more money. I can't do that. I can't do that. If you're a consistent uploader on YouTube, you're trying to make more money. And these other YouTube channels that have been doing this longer than me, who don't get as many views as I do, they're mad because I've been on here for a shorter amount of time than them, and I'm getting more views than them in the same niche, in the same genre that they're in. So my voice is louder than them. That's what they're mad about. That's what they're hating. They don't give a fuck about, people, oh, you know, he's discouraging people from being truck drivers. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck, dude. That's a load of bullshit. You know what I mean? They're mad because I get more views than them. If I wasn't getting more views than them, they wouldn't be mentioning me in live streams, doing videos on me. None of that shit. They're jealous, dude. I saw this video of these two haters talking about me again, saying, "Oh yeah, I just don't like people uploading false information on YouTube." Motherfucker, what is false about what I said? I'm saying the same thing that other truck drivers that are way more veteran than me. I'm not a veteran. I'm still a rookie. You know what I mean? Um, I'm saying the same thing that owner operators, guys in the real world at truck stops are saying. That yeah, this industry has a lot of fucking problems. It does, and it is a dying industry. It's been dying since deregulation. And if you're going to come on here to YouTube and say, oh, he's discouraging people from getting CDLs, he's saying this and that, he's telling people that they shouldn't become truck drivers. Fuck off, dude. Fuck off, dude. You're in it for the views and you're trying to act like you're holier than me. I'm just not full of shit. I'm just telling people how it is. I'm not on here trying to, get a bunch of likes and hearts. You know how much shit I get right here on YouTube? You know how many people fucking come on my videos and just hate because they're mad at how real I am and how I just say what the fuck's on my mind? Every now and then, which I've been doing lately, I like fucking with the trolls and pissing them off because it's fun. It's fun. I have fun teasing the trolls and pissing them off with like community posts and shit because they just get so mad because they're so fucking dumb. They're just so stupid. It's I should stop. I'll give you that. I should stop fucking with the trolls. It's just fun. It's hard to not mess with them. But nah, these two guys, they were saying like I'm on here discouraging people. What I'm doing is I'm giving you the truth. If you listen to these YouTubers that try to act like they're always positive, the problem with that is when you get into this line of work and you run into the reality of this shit, I'm the YouTuber that's telling you what that reality is going to be. When you're sitting in that sleeper and you're realizing, hold on, I'm not getting paid for this 10-hour sleep and I'm still at work. This is a problem. If you're honest with yourself, if you're going to sit in that truck and bullshit yourself and hook it up with like video games and a refrigerator and try to make the best out of a fucked up situation where you're not getting paid for being at work, fine. A lot of guys do that. I'm I don't do that. To me, it's all about money. YouTube, a job, everything that I do that has to do with money, it's all about money. It's all about fucking money. And it always should be about money, especially when it comes to work. So I'm on here being honest with you guys. I'm not on here bullshitting or trying to be positive or whatever. No, dude, money is not always positive. I'm just on here being real. That's it. And these two guys, I guess they got mad at, so that's why I'm doing this video, right? I just um I just 6,713 as a new driver. My partner from school went to college to get a degree, and he got paid 815 from his first job with the college degree. College is a scam. Get in debt and you get a low paying job. No thanks. That's not true. Um, college, I made a video criticizing college. Um, the problem with college is this: a lot of kids, because they're kids going to college, um, they're getting degrees that are not worth getting a degree in. They're getting bullshit degrees. They're lost. When you're young like that, you're lost. You don't know what you want to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do until I was in like my late 20s, right? Even then, probably I didn't know what I wanted to do until I was like probably 29, 30. To keep it real. That's when I knew what I really wanted to do, right? Um, YouTube and, have a good job to back that up so I could focus on YouTube. Um, and probably get back into the rental car business or something, but pretty much YouTube and just find, hook or crook, make a lot of money. That's what I want to do, right? When you're young like that, why do these kids switch their major? They go from, law school to no, oh, now I want to do tech. Or I was doing psychology. Oh, now I want to be an architect. You don't know what you want to do. But the smart kids that do know what they want to do, who know I'm going to go to college and I'm going to be a lawyer. I'm going to go to college and I'm going to be an investment banker. I'm going to go to college and I'm going to be a CEO. I'm going to go to college and I'm going to work at Goldman Sachs. I'm going to go to college and I'm going to be an architect and I'm going to work for Webcore. Those are the motherfuckers that make money. Those people, they're not being scammed. They're just smarter than the average college student and they come out on top. College isn't a scam. It's not. The the people that go to college and they're straightforward and they make a decision that's going to make them money and they stick with it, they end up making way more money than nowadays any truck driver, any blue collar worker. That's for sure, dude. Someone who's like a journeyman electrician, they're never going to see the same money that someone at Goldman Sachs in Manhattan is seeing. They're just never going to see that, right? Because they're not worth that much. The market dictates what you're worth. If you're taking care of hedge funds, retirement accounts at Goldman Sachs by trading, you know what I mean, and bringing in more transactions to the account, you're making big fucking money. College is not a scam, but a lot of these kids, they get stupid degrees. And at that point, if you're going to get a stupid degree, you're better off just getting a trade, right? Because at least you're not going to be getting yourself into so much debt. Let's see. These megas don't train well. I didn't know how to lock an intermodal container. On the corner points, I'm lucky it didn't tip over. They just want us to be stuck there. Yeah, that happens a lot. You see the intermodal containers tipping off because they don't. You got to check all the corners, and I even think the middle part or whatever. I never ran chassis, so I don't know. Um, I got I got my Twit card. The fucked up thing about the ports up here in the Bay is a lot of them are 1099 jobs. A lot of the Port of Oakland jobs are 1099. A lot of the Port of Oakland jobs, they're our port right here in the Port of Oakland. A lot of mega carriers don't run it, oddly. There's not a lot of CR England, JB Hunt, Swift. It's not like LA where they got a JB Hunt intermodal yard right there um, by the rail yards off of the 710. It's not like that. Out here in Oakland, most of the drivers, like probably damn near 99% of them out of the Port of Oakland are owner operators. So those guys are going to want to dick you around too. They're going to want to pay you 1099, which pretty much means you're not going to make shit because you got to pay taxes on it, you know? Um, and those guys, they want guys with experience in the Port of Oakland. So I never ran ports. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't. I'm pretty sure they don't show you how to lock shit up properly. Yeah, dude, they don't give a fuck because you're just another truck driver. Again, the CDL, it's not really in demand like that. It's not. If it was really in demand, the training would be better. The pay would be better. You wouldn't be getting dicked around and lied to by trucking companies. A CDL license is not in demand like you think it is. It's not. You're not that much in demand by having a CDL. You're not. But you can make money with it. You definitely can, right? It'll take some hustling and some time, but eventually, if you stick with it, you'll land a job that pays you good money. That PS5 and monitor will heat up that cab quick, but he just don't want you idling. That fucking sucks, dude. You got to rely on the fucking PS5 and the TV to heat up your cab. That fucking sucks, dude. Yeah. See, another thing. If you were that in demand, fucking what are they called? APUs. They would be on every fucking truck. You know, heaters like bunk heaters. Most trucks have bunk heaters. That should be against the law for a sleeper cab to not have a bunk heater, right? Because that's just cruel right there. But every now and then those bunk heaters break, and sometimes you can't get to a technician, right? So sometimes you just freeze your ass off and get sick. Fuck, that sounds horrible, right? Jesus, you know that happens to people. People that are like in Colorado or wherever the hell it's like iced out, Utah, and then their bunk heater breaks in the middle of the night when they're sleeping, and then it's so cold that they get woken up by it being negative 15 degrees outside, and they go to turn their bunk heater on and it doesn't work. And then it's like a few degrees above to where the truck won't idle. So they're just stuck in there freezing. That's fucking terrible, bro. That's inhumane right there. That's just cruel, dude. Let's see. I'm in 1099 companies. I make good money, 100 plus. Well, hopefully you got a lot of write-offs to keep that 100. Um, and hopefully you're local to where you go home every day. Because if you're making 100 grand plus and you got a sleeper, then you're not making that much money if you got a sleeper. Shouldn't you be out at the clubs on the Saturday night, bro? I don't like going to nightclubs. A room full of people and it's like loud and it's crowded and it's like people are in there like I don't really like going to nightclubs. Salsa sometimes I'll go out, like dancing at salsa clubs every now and then. But the only nightclubs I really like going to is like when I go and I know people. Like if like my friend is DJing, like I got some friends who are DJs out here in the Bay. I'll go to see them specifically. Like I'll go out and I'll even let them know, like, hey, dude, I'm gonna be there tonight. I'm gonna go see you. But to just go out to a club like that, I would rather go out to like a pool hall maybe a restaurant, a bar, an event, you know what I mean? But to just go out to a nightclub, a lot of people out here in the Bay Area, they're into raves. I'm not really into raves like that. But no, I don't really like going to nightclubs like that. I don't like being around drunks like that. I just don't like drunk people. They're all loud, and especially in a nightclub, the music's blasting. So you go and talk to a broad, and you got to scream in her face just for her to hear you. I don't like that shit. That's dumb. That's fucking dumb, right? Um, I'd rather just walk down the street and get a girl's number, or go to the grocery store and get a chick's number or something. Um, After 30, it's all about comfort. Yeah, bro, for real. Who the fuck wants to be in a nightclub like you're 21? I mean, I'm not knocking you, Dr. Blitz, if you're a youngster and you like going to a nightclub. But or no, not Dr. Blitz. So who said that? Nathan Griebel or whatever. Yeah, if you like going to nightclubs, that's cool. I don't like going to nightclubs. I'd rather fucking be home, you know. Um, you know, I'd rather go on a dinner date or something, or play video games, or I don't know, go bang abroad or something than go into a nightclub. I'm cool off that. Let's see. What else were they talking about? I'm trying to. Someone said XPO sucks. XPO got inward facing cameras. Yeah. Oh well. I mean, if it's local, I don't give a fuck about inward facing cameras. I don't care about that. I'll do inward facing cameras for 37 an hour. What, you don't want them to see you like fucking like whacking off when you're driving or something? Who cares about inward facing cameras? Where it gets creepy is if you're in a sleeper and they have inward facing cameras, especially if you're a woman, because you'll get like some of these weird dispatchers or whoever has access to the camera, and they can see you like changing, or I don't, or whacking off in your truck or something. Then it gets weird. But if you're just driving a day cab, who cares about inward facing cameras, right? Bro, you have 718 in here watching 725. Well, fuck, now I only got 36. YouTube's pushing you. Well, yeah, it's all about stay consistent. Every now and then you get lucky and people will push out your live stream, you know. 8 years dock worker at Yellow. Threw me out like a banana peel. I'm sorry that happened. That sucks, Dr. Blitz. That's fucking terrible, bro. But hopefully you got a good severance package, you know. 2025 gonna get weird. Let's get through 2024 first, man, before we start talking about 25. I mean, dude, I'm waiting for that Grand Theft Auto 6, dude. That's what I'm waiting for. Yeah, let 2025 come here so I can play that shit already. Dude, they've been having us waiting on fucking Grand Theft Auto 6, bro, haven't they? You know? I wouldn't be surprised if you do the math. All right, so I'm caught up on the what you call it. But yeah, um, damn, it's been like 2 hours already. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get on here and talk about where the money is in trucking. Um, yeah, because these two people that I saw, they were, one of them is a hater. The other one, I feel like he's a hater too. He just doesn't want to admit it. But what it really comes down to is I saw these two guys and they were kind of exaggerating what I was saying. I never said that you can't make it in trucking. See, that's another thing. Like one of them, two of them, both of these motherfuckers, matter of fact, they said that I said that you can't make it in trucking. That's not what I said. What I said that this might not be a thing that you want to stay in for a long time. If you're looking, right, to which line of work you're going to go into, I honestly would tell somebody to go do something other than trucking. But if you want to do trucking, this is the reality of it. You're going to run over the road when you start, or you're going to have to work in like some warehouse that has a driver associate to driver program, like 7 Up or Walmart or whatever the fuck, and you're going to, and who knows how long that takes, right? Or you're going to go into debt at a private school or at a mega carrier, and if you don't have experience, you're probably not going to get a job, the job that you want. You're not going to haul fuel right away, with no experience, that's for sure. So you're most likely not going to be eligible to get paid per hour from the jump. Every now and then you'll get lucky, but that's every now and then. For the most part, most of the new CDL holders, they're going to have to run over the road freight, so they're not going to make a lot of money. That's what I said. I never said that you can't make it in trucking. These two guys that said that, they said that because they're haters, because I get more views than them, right? And check this out. There's people on YouTube in trucking that have been on this platform for shorter than I have who have blown me out of the water. And I'm not hating on them. I'm not hating on them. Whatever they're doing is working, right? You don't see me fucking I critique other channels, but I'm not like intentionally taking something that they said, right? Because I'm pretty sure these other channels that are bigger than me that have been on here for a smaller amount of time that I have, and they've grown faster than me. I'm sure they've probably critiqued and criticized trucking and talked about bad experiences that they've had with it, just like I have. But I'm not like lurking on their channel because they're making more money than me on YouTube and saying, "Oh, she said that trucking's not worth being in." I'm not taking what they said and fucking saying something else. I'm not doing that. You know why? Because I'm not a hater. I like making fun of trolls because they're funny to make fun of, because they're really sensitive and it's easy to get their panties in a bunch. And there's just so many of them on YouTube. I do that, which I shouldn't do, but I do it. But I'm not taking someone's words and twisting them up. I'm not doing that. All that I'm doing is I'm not always on here being positive because I'm on here being real. And if someone's going to be real on YouTube, they're not always going to be positive. They're not. Motherfuckers that you see on YouTube that are always like being positive and shit, they're not being real, right? They don't want to tell you the reality of a situation, of whatever their genre or niche is. They're trying to go the Mr. Beast route. They're trying to go the nice guy route. They're trying to, oh, yeah. Or another thing is, especially with trucking, they're trying to get referral bonuses. Here's the thing. YouTube, we're all on here to make money. That's what it is. That's what it is, dude. These two motherfuckers that were hating and they were taking things that I was saying out of context, and they've been taking things that I'm saying out of context. They should just be real. Maybe they don't have the balls to be real like I am and tell you that, yeah, there's other things that you could do other than truck driving. I'm not afraid to say that. That's the fucking truth. There are other things that you could do besides truck driving. You could become a pipe fitter, you could become a welder, you could become a doctor. If you're young enough and you're in school, don't get a CDL. There's better things that you can do than get besides getting a CDL. But if, let's just keep it real. If you fucked up and you're not going to go to college if your grades are all fucked up or whatever, or I don't know, whatever you did, you're just not going to go that college route, you can get a CDL. I think even before that, go to another trade. Go to another trade because, dude, no other trade dicks you around the way trucking companies dick you around. I don't see this kind of lying and manipulation in construction. When people go to construction jobs, whether they're an apprentice or a laborer or whatever, where they're starting at the bottom, they get told, look, we're going to start you off at 18 an hour, but you're going to work your way up to 50 an hour when you're a journeyman, or 65 an hour, or 65 an hour when you're a journeyman pipe fitter or an electrician. But no, as a laborer or as an apprentice, you're going to start off at 18, right? They're honest. They don't, no. You know what trucking companies do? They pay you $6 or $5 or $7 an hour, but tell you that you're going to make 75,000 a year in your first year. That's what they do. They manipulate. They lie to you like that. I don't see that in construction. I've never seen that shit. I worked construction throughout my teens and early 20s. I never had a construction company lie to me like that. Never. But when I got into trucking, that's when, I knew, damn, I'm being straight up fucking lied to right now. And that's what these trucking companies, fuck it, I'll say their name, right? Um, Walmart Rob and Mr. By the Mile, that's what they're not telling you. No, no, no. They want to be all like, oh, fucking, you know, they're trying to be Mr. Positive and shit. But Mr. Positive is not real. Mr. Positive is a fucking liar, dude. It is what it is, right? So with that being said, um, I'm gonna head out of here. Yeah, that's another thing too. That's another thing. It's fucking dudes, bro. I don't know what it is with these YouTubers. They act like they're too good to say who it is they're talking about. Just say my name, Augustine Ramos. It's not that hard to say, right? You don't need to be bilingual to say my name. I know you're talking about me, right? You guys were not that big. We're not that big of a niche. We're not that big of a genre. You guys aren't making money on here like Mr. Beast. You guys aren't making money on here like Adam 22. We're just small. You're not making money on here like Alex Nino or Alex the trucking guy. No, just say my fucking name, right? Next time you guys want to talk shit, just say my fucking name. I say their name. I make fun of them with my videos. I make fun of Mr. By the Mile all the time because I have fun making fun of him because what he's doing, it looks like he's just so full of shit. And people that actually believe that someone needs to take a year off work for a shoulder injury, I think that's really fucking funny. Especially in the genre that we're in. I think ultimately, you know, a lot of these guys that do believe him and constantly bring me up in the comment section of his videos, they're not really his fans. They're just my haters, right? And it sounds narcissistic, but just look at the views. I don't get a lot of views, but that motherfucker doesn't get damn near any views, right? That's why these guys are jealous. That's what it really comes down to. Someone previously commented about driving in Alaska, working few months on, few months off. Depends what they're doing. When it comes down to trucking, it's this, dude. The money in trucking, it's in clock in and clock out and go home, just like any job, right? Because now that I'm clocking in and clocking out and going home, it's no different than me being in construction. I leave the house, I come home back to the house, right? Just like any job, right? That's what it's all about. It's not about like having like another house that I live in, but it's not my house. It's my job that I'm not getting paid honestly, right? Where I'm not getting paid honestly. That's what it comes down to. That's what it fucking comes down to, dude. So think about this. Think about this shit. I had this youngster, well, he's not a youngster, he's my age. This guy at a post office, and he's asking me about getting a CDL. I told him this, dude, if this is what you want to do, I told him, dude, maybe you should just stay right here at the post office because you guys are union, you guys have a pension, you clock in, clock out. If you want to go the trucking route, you're probably going to have to drive across country to get your experience for the first year or two, um, which means you're not going to be making a lot of money. 2 years later, maybe 3 years later, you can get a local truck driving job like this, or a year later, you could probably get into something like this. Your first year, you're going to be struggling. Your health is going to take a shit because you're going to be living in a truck. Your social life is going to take a shit because you're going to be living in a truck. Your money is going to take a shit because you're going to be living in a truck when you really do the math, right? Especially if you still got to pay rent, right? If you're going to be living in a truck, you might as well just live in the truck. You might as well just let go of your apartment and just live in the truck. But there's problems with that, isn't there? When the truck breaks down, you're going to have to move all of your shit from this truck to that truck or go get a hotel. Someone might break into your truck and steal all your shit. When you live in a truck, you're homeless. You're very vulnerable living in a truck, right? When I was living in a truck, I was always fucking scared that someone was going to break into my truck. Even when I would come home and I'd park it on the street, I was always scared that, damn, am I going to go outside and see that my window is busted and that all my shit's gone out of my truck because I don't have a spot because I'm living in my truck? That's the shit you're going to be dealing with when you're getting your experience in trucking. If you want to live in a truck, which you might have to live in a truck to get your experience, right? I was telling them all this shit. The same way I tell you guys, right? It's just honesty. And I think the reason, I mean, I try to do good on editing, but one reason why I think I was blowing up in the beginning was I wasn't focused on the trolls and I was just being honest and I was telling people all of these things, right? Um, because look, here's another thing. Why was my channel blowing up? Because I was telling people what it's like to be a truck driver, which means there's a revolving door, right? Now that I'm local and I'm set, my content has gotten a little stale. It's gotten a little dry. It's gotten a little boring because I'm no longer in a shit show. I'm no longer living in a truck. It's no longer like interesting like that, right? It's just no, clock in, clock out, right? So by seeing that there's a revolving door in trucking, that right there should let you know that a lot of people don't stay in this line of work for too long. They get in, they realize that it's bullshit, and then they go do something else. It is what it is, man. That's what I'm on. And I think when I'm honest like this, when I'm honest like this, and I'm staying on topic, which is the meat and potatoes of my channel lately, or since I've started, um, I think that's when I grow. That's when I grow because then people see, like, you know what? Yeah, he trolls or whatever. But at the end of the day, Augustine, he's an honest dude. He's honest. And when these other guys get upset, they get upset because what it comes down to with other YouTubers getting mad at me, it's just because I get more views than them and I've been on, they've been on longer than me and they don't get a lot of views like I get. Right. But at the same time, if they're mad at me, but that never ends on YouTube. There's people that are always going to get way more views than me. I don't get a lot of views. I don't get a lot of views. I hardly get any views, dude. 11,000 on a short? That's not a lot of views, bro. I don't get a lot of views. But these other guys, they barely get any fucking views. And I can understand that's frustrating. That's frustrating. So I don't know. I'm just repeating myself here. You see that Alex the trucking guy YouTube promoting trucking on the news. I laughed. What? Alex the trucking guy, he's promoting trucking on the news? No. Hold on. What is this guy like being a sellout or something? What? Hold on. I got the phone right here. I don't got OBS up. I got to see this. Well, what is going on? What is this? Alex, the trucking guy, news interview? Oh, truly blessed. Alex, the trucking guy, tells the angle he found. What? Alex, the recruiter, what? He's recruiting for GP Transco? Golden ticket job. Truck driver touts the profession. Are we gonna fucking do this, bro? Are we gonna critique Alex right now? Fuck it, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do this shit.
Like, do this job. Meanwhile, this story, one young man has figured a key to success in life, and it is truck driving. What keeps me going is that I see 30-year-old Alex. Right now, I'm doing this to set that Alex up. Like, do this job for a couple of years. You work really, really, really hard, save your money, so that way you can actually retire early and live the life that you really want to live and do the things that you really want to do. Think long term. And people are heeding his advice, showing us right now from the road.
You see, Alex isn't being honest. He's not being honest, dude. I'm being negative. Oh, Augustine's negative. I don't like his channel. He's too negative. I'm honest. I'm just fucking honest. How can Alex the trucking guy get on? You know why he can do that? Because he's being fake. When you get big like that, there's a tendency to go fake. It's very rare that someone gets big like that on YouTube and they stay real. A lot of them go fake. God, I can't stand that shit, dude. Alex the trucking guy and Alex Nino, let's just keep it real. I'm not hating on them, but this is just honesty right here. They make money on YouTube. They don't make money like that in trucking. They don't. Especially for what he's talking about, how he wants to retire early and shit. You don't run over the road and retire early in 2024 in today's money and in today's pay in trucking. That's just not being honest, dude. What is this guy? Let's see, what are you guys talking about? Work really hard. I don't even really check out Alex the trucking guy's YouTube channel like that. Let's see. I mean, I'm sure here's the thing. Let's not take it away from Alex, right? I mean, Alex Nino has more subscribers than Alex the trucking guy. Alex the Nino. What the fuck? I said that in a vlog of when I was at CR England too, when I get these two guys confused. Um, Alex Nino's a hustler. I gotta give it to the homeboy Alex Nino, right? Who's who's from Fresno, I think, right? Alex Nino, he gives away money to people in his comments. He has a fucking clothing line, you know what I mean? His channel is kind of like a family channel. Um, Alex Nino, yeah, it's a trucking channel, but it's more than just a trucking channel. Alex, the trucking guy. How often does he upload? One. So he uploads like a few times a week. Not too different than me, right? Alex, the trucking guy, has been on YouTube for about 2 years. Damn. Homeboy's been on YouTube for about 2 years. Um, and he's definitely grown faster than Mr. By the Mile, I'll tell you that. Mr. By the Mile has been on YouTube for about 4 or 5 years, and nobody watches his channel. I think it's because he bounces from red pill to doomsday prepping to trucking to red pill to just taking his shirt off and doing to talking shit about me. Oh, Mr. By the Mile, bro. All bullshit aside, fuck Alex, dude. This should be you. This should be you. Both of them. Alex Nino and Alex the trucking guy. This should be Mr. By the Mile making all this money. You've been on here for 4 years. This motherfucker's been on here for 2. Dude, what are you doing, bro? You've been on here for 4 fucking years, dude. Get your shit together. Homeboy's on Fox. So let's finish watching this. What are you guys talking about? I didn't care for him, but now I just cringe when I see him. When you get this big, you tend to go fake to where you're not being honest. Like Mr. Beast. Like Mr. Beast, I don't know him personally. Never gonna meet him. I don't give a fuck about meeting Mr. Beast. But when you're on YouTube, you're gonna bring up Mr. Beast, especially if you're talking about growth and size in YouTube. He's the biggest one, right? He's a Mr. YouTube, but I just sincerely think that he's fake. He's too big, he's too corporatized to be real. He could never come onto YouTube and say how he really feels about a subject. He has to be Mr. Nice Guy, clean cut, politically correct. You know what I mean? Is that what Alex, the trucking guy, is doing? There's a lot of money in YouTube, man. Let's see. Let's finish this.
Is the man in the video, Alex the trucking guy. Alex, you say you dropped out of college for this. You didn't want a desk job. You wanted something, you want to experience life. Why was trucking the answer?
Well, originally because I wanted to do van life. And then one day I was scrolling YouTube, and this YouTube.
I remember Alex saying that. I'm not going to say that he's fake for saying that, but let me set this up somehow. Come on, bitch. Do I gotta hold this fucking thing, dude? Oh, there's got to be something that I could use. Drop the chopstick. This kid doesn't have a toy that I could use or something to hold this up, dude. Come on, come on. Come on, no. You fucking bitch. This is as real as it gets right here. My phone's about to fall. You know what? All right. Oh man. Let's just play it. Let's just play it.
That was also a truck driver vlogging his life as a truck driver popped up called Riding with Dave, and I just started watching video after video after video, and then something clicked in my brain. Well, trucking is kind of basically van life, except you get to do it on someone else's dime. Like this truck right here.
I said that. I got a YouTube video called My Thoughts on Van Life. And yeah, trucking is pretty much van life on steroids, backed by a company. It's a job, right? Van life is pretty much glorified homelessness. You're homeless when you're living in a truck, but at least you're getting paid. You're at work. It's a shitty job, but you're at work.
This is not my truck. My company owns this truck. Anything breaks on it, they pay for it. All the fuel, they pay for it. And I just get to travel for free.
And it's exciting, and it's something new every day, and it pays well. And you're chronicling it. You said one of your goals is that with these tapes, you wanted to click through a 5% on each video, make about 10,000 in sales. What about your goals? How are you doing?
Oh, I far surpassed all the dreams that I had. I never thought it would be this big. My life is absolutely.
Hold on. I missed.
Is it with these?
I missed that thing that Fox asked him.
Brakes on it, they pay for it. All the fuel, they pay for it, and I just get to travel for free.
And it's exciting, and it's something new every day, and it pays well. And you're chronicling it. You said one of your goals is that with these tapes, you wanted to click through a 5% on each video, make about 10,000 in sales. What about your goals? How are you doing?
Oh, I far surpassed all the dreams that I had. I never thought it would be this big.
What do you say?
What about your goals? How are you doing?
10,000 in sales. What are you selling?
Chronicling it. You said one of your goals is that with these tapes, you wanted to click through a 5% on each video, make about 10,000 in sales. What about your goals? How are you doing?
I get it. You see how mainstream media is so old school? You want to make 10,000 in sales? Click-through rate, but dude, you make money off of advertising that YouTube gives to you through the partner program. You're not selling anything unless if you're like Alex Nino and you're selling like t-shirts and merchandise. I don't know if does Alex does he have a school? I mean, not a school. What the fuck am I talking about? Merch? Community. I don't think he has merch. I don't know. Let's see.
Oh, I far surpassed all the dreams that I had. I never thought it would be this big. My life is absolutely. I'm blessed, truly blessed.
You were pretty depressed during the pandemic, right? You went home. You're afraid of getting your parents, your mother and grandmother sick. You didn't have a job. You had to reconfigure things. And what do you say to people who think this? I don't know. Trucking doesn't seem exciting enough for me. What should they know about what you do?
Well, I think that this is honestly an amazing career. I mean, there's very few jobs in the world where you get.
Let's hear him out. Let's give Alex the benefit of the doubt. Let's at least listen to what he has to say.
To take home a lot of it. Like I get a free place to live, and even trucking school, CDL school, the company that I was hired on by, they paid for that. I didn't have to pay for that extra 5,000. that they covered. And so it's just, you just set yourself up. If you do it right and you invest right, you set yourself up right for the future.
They want to make these cars, they want to make the trucks, especially in California, electric. Would that work? What are the problems with electric trucks?
I think it's a possibility, but I also think we're long from it. As we saw with the electric cars in the winter, I'm concerned about how the weather affects these batteries and how long they'll last per charge.
It's got problems. I see these guys complaining about charging stations. The batteries are so big, they take up a lot of the room. Alex, good job. I love the way you analyzed your life and you took action and you found a great occupation and you're inspiring a lot of other young people. Alex, the trucking guy, look him up and click through on those videos. Alex, thank you. Have a great Easter.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click.
All right, Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity's old as fuck. Damn. Look, I'll say this. No matter what you think about Alex, the trucking guy, we got to give homeboys props. He made it on Fox. That's big right there. That's big. Me as a YouTuber, I got to give him his props. But he's not being honest. He's just talking about all the positive shit. I mean, with the positive, there's negative. Does he talk about? I don't watch his channel like that, so I don't know. Let's watch.
Good morning. I'm currently at GP Transco headquarters. I have to make my way to pick up a load right now. But first, I need to get a trailer. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. I'm gonna put the paperwork away. The wheels
I do not miss
on the
that
trailer
shit.
are a little farther back than I like them to be. But this trailer already has stuff in it, and it's about 39,000 pounds.
I watch a lot of these guys. I watch a lot of Abu and Preach. And right now they're roasting Fresh from Fresh and Fit. I guess he got a chinita pregnant and he's trying to run away from it. Abu and Preach are fucking hilarious, dude. I love them. But Fresh is a simp. Fresh is a fucking idiot. Fresh and Fit, they're just so fucking stupid, dude. But hey, at the same time, you got them too. You got to give. This is what I think about Fresh and Fit. It's two things. Either they're just very fucking dumb or they're very fucking smart. They might be making themselves look ridiculous as they can. Like this thing with Fresh getting this broad pregnant, it might be fake. The whole thing might be fake and planned out because they know it's going to bring them a lot of attention. They might be doing all this saying, oh man, how can I make myself look so ridiculous? Because the more ridiculous we make ourselves look, the more money we make. There's a lot of money in making yourself look like a dumbass, dude. There is. There's big money in making yourself look like a fucking asshole, making yourself look dumb. They might be doing that. Yeah, they capitalized off the losers. They can't get chicks. Dude, there's so much money in that. That's why I told Mr. By the Mile, dude, I don't know what he was doing staying home talking about trucking in his living room. He should have stood home and started a Red Pill podcast. He'd be a fucking millionaire right now, bro. Alex the trucking guy with this Fox News thing, he's not being honest. He's not being honest, especially over the road trucking. What he's talking about here's the thing. This is what happened behind that. I don't know for certain, but this is most likely how he got on Fox. GP Transco, they know about him vlogging, which is usually a no-no. It's usually a no-no to wear a headset and to be driving a truck like that. Because a safety department, especially over the road, that's a medium size, almost a mega carrier, GP Transco. They have safety departments, and maybe they're smarter than the other mega carriers, and they saw that this is like the new marketing, right? And they wanted to come out on top of this, being that YouTube is the new marketing tool. So they probably allowed him to do it. And since his channel got so big, they probably, coordinated this thing to get him onto Fox News because Alex, the trucking guy, is probably the like damn near the spokesperson for GP Transco. He's probably like their Jarrett from Subway, the guy who ended up being a weirdo. I'm not saying anything negative like that about Alex, but I'm saying Alex is like the Ronald McDonald for GP Transco. And GP Transco most likely got him that deal on Fox News, right? Because why would they just go to some random vlogger? I mean, why isn't Alex Nino on Fox News? I don't know. Because Alex the trucking guy puts on for GP Transco so hard, the company they wanted to get out in front of the media because they want to grow. So they got him onto Fox News, which means that he was not going to go on to Fox News and say anything real and give any real criticism about trucking the way that I do. You know what I mean? When you get that big, there's a tendency to be fake, to be clean and cookie cutter, because that's where you can make a lot of money. That's one route to go down to make a lot of money. Then you can go down the fresh and fit route and make yourself look as ridiculous as you can, and you can make even more money that way. YouTube is all about attention. This is why I'm trying to start, or I'm going to start my new channel. I'm going to start a podcast show, and it's going to be real, but I'm going to try to make it as ridiculous as I can, right? Like try to get some real life drama on there. You know what I mean? Like get broads on there talking shit about broads that they don't like, that kind of shit, right? What are you guys talking about? Yeah, they capitalized off of the loser that's talking about traveling for free and paying for your fuel. Yeah, you see? That's the thing, bro. It's like they're not being real. It's cold as fuck out here, but they're not being real, dude. This is a job. At the end of the day, this is a job, and I don't know about any job interview that you go into and say, "Hey, oh no, I'm not about I don't want to come here and make money. No, I want to travel. I want to travel for free. Yeah, go. This is what I want you guys to do. These guys getting into trucking. I want you guys to go to Swift, go to a trucking company, go to an interview, and don't even ask them about anything that has to do with money or anything about the job. Just say this. Just say what Alex Nino is saying. Oh man, yeah, why I want to do this job? I want to travel for free and have you guys pay for the fuel and for the breakdowns. Yeah, I just want to travel and be their good little lapdog. Fuck, dude. I don't know. I don't want to hate on Alex too much because I don't know. He seems like a good guy, but just because you're a good guy, um, doesn't mean that you're a good guy. You get what I'm saying? Just because you're the clean cookie cutter type, it doesn't mean that you're not. You're fake. It seems like you're fake, like you're a phony. What are you guys talking about? Not for, not for Alex, the trucking guy. GP Transco sucks. Not for Alex, the trucking guy. They love that dude. GP Transco sucks off the the whatever of Alex. Well, he's their marketing, right? They use him for marketing. So it's a win-win situation for them, right? Is there any good trucking companies in California? There's Cherokee Freight Lines, there's California Freight Lines out of Stockton. Up north where I'm at, a lot of the good local fuel and like tanker jobs are out of Stockton. Um, Oakland, you're going to be working for like 1099 jobs out of the port of Oakland for owner operators. Waste management's good. Republic Services in Fremont is good. Don't work for AC Transit. They don't pay a lot of money. I almost got into AC Transit, but I turned it down. They wanted to start me off at 23 an hour. Fuck that. It's California, bro. There's good trucking companies here. You just got to go find them, right?
You talk about.
Let's see.
Right, here's a truck driver with more than 1.5 million followers on social media telling his viewers why driving is his dream job.
Why am I a truck driver? Well, it's pretty much the only job where you get to travel the country completely for free. My company literally pays for everything. All the fuel I get, repairs, parts, everything. Plus, trucking pays pretty well. For a job that requires zero college, you can expect to make $50,000 your first year, and it's only up from there.
That's Alex.
I'll give him. I thought he was going to say like 75 to 80. He's still not being honest because he's showcasing over the road. If he was honest, this is what he would say. If he was honest, he would say this, right? If he doesn't want to be as honest as me, he would say this. Trucking is a hard job. You're going to be away from your family. You're going to go home two days out of the month. Some months you're not going to get to go home at all. You're going to sleep in a truck. It's rough sleeping in a truck. You're not always going to get to take a shower. And if you do want to always take a shower, you might have to, what's the word I'm looking for? Settle for a bird bath with like a bucket, right? If you want to take a shit in the middle of the night and it's negative 10 degrees outside and you don't want to walk across the huge truck stop parking lot and probably get frostbite, then you might have to shit in a bucket. You might have to put a bag over a bucket and shit in the bucket and put the bag on the catwalk until the morning comes when it's a little bit warmer and you could throw it away. There's a chance that you could slide on black ice, even if you have chains, and kill people. And you're going to do all this for $50,000. That's what he would say. That's what he would say. It's a trade. Yeah, it's a job. It's a hard job. But that's what he would say. He's being too cookie cutter, dude. He's being too clean. He didn't even bring up chaining up. He didn't even. Yeah, bro. He's going the Mr. Beast route. Alex is easy targets for him. Big companies lie. Is that sarcasm? Yeah, Sideways Western Express is an amazing company. Yeah, bro. Drove for 2 hours to find parking. I'm sorry that happened, dude. That sucks. That's horrible. Yeah, that's advertising. Yeah, it's advertising, bro. GP Transco, they got him on Fox News. OTR weekly pay is 700 to 979 hours work weeks. 79-hour work weeks sounds horrible. Wages are stagnant. Yeah, bro, he's not being honest, bro. All right, let's do the math on this. You want to hear something depressing? Back in 1975, an average trucker's salary was $32K, which equals to like $160,000 today. That's average. Yeah, there was a lot more money in trucking. The dollar was worth more, and that's average. A lot of truck drivers were making way more than 32 grand, way more, right? But let's say they're making 50, that's honest. On paper, that's honest that you're making 50 in your first year, right? But let's run down the numbers. This is what Alex the trucking guy, or let's stop calling him Alex. Let's call him Mr. GP Transco. Let's just say that, right? That way I'm not getting him confused with gente. You know what I mean? With Alex Nino out here in Fresno, right? Mr. GP Transco. He should have said this. You're going to make 50 grand on paper, but it really comes out to like $4 or $5 an hour. Let's do the math, right? You spend 24 hours a day on the job because you're in a sleeper. and you're doing that 7 days a week at 168 um, hours a week, right? 24 hours times seven. Yeah, 168 hours a week. And then you're going to do that 3 weeks for 504, right? And then you're going to do 24 times 5. That's the weekend you get to go home. 120 plus the 504. That's how many hours you're spending on the job per month. Now let's multiply that by 12 months, right? 7,000 again, 7,400, right? 50,000 divided by 7,400 hours. You're making about let's bump it up. Let's bump it up to $10 an hour because you're going to take some time off, right? That's what he would say. If Alex, the trucking guy, was being honest, he would say trucking is a hard job. You're not going to be home a lot. You're not going to have access to a kitchen, so there's a chance of you gaining a lot of weight over the road because you're going to be eating a lot of truck stop food because it's not that easy to go to a grocery store all the time. It's just not that easy. It's easier said than done, especially when you have appointments to make and you're running hours of service and you're on a strict tight schedule with your loads. And he would list, you know, he would also say in trucking you're going to run over black ice, you're going to run in storms, you're going to run in bad weather, you're going to be out, and for all of this you're going to be making around $10 an hour when it's said and done because you have something called home time. You don't get to go home every day. You're going to live in a truck, and it's hard living in a truck. It's nasty living in a truck. It's not healthy living in a truck. That's what he would say. But later down the line, you can get a local job at US Foods when you have experience, and then you can make good money, right? Then you'll start bringing in money. But the sleeper, it's not worth it. GP Transco wouldn't allow him to say that. They would fire him. They'd probably sue him for saying that. Oh, man. Fucking most truck drivers end up broke. CB and Matt, no GPS, no cell phone. Well, yeah, that's old school shit. Yeah, sideways. I ended up with a gambling addiction and depression after 4 years on the road. I only went home like 4 times a year. That's fucking terrible, bro. That sucks, dude. Cab over dog box. Damn, the best thing to do is to get rid of your place and car payments to save money. Traffic backups and construction. Yeah, bro. Let's see the rest of Alex or Mr. GP Transco.
Trucking guy, and he joins me now. Alex, thanks so much for joining us. I respect these videos you're putting out, and tell us about your job and why you love it so much.
Yeah, I started getting into trucking because I was watching YouTube videos. I was just scrolling at home during the pandemic, and originally I wanted to do van life, but then after watching so many videos, I thought, well, this is kind of like van life, except I get to do it on someone else's dime, on a company's dime, because I don't own the truck. They pay for all the fuel. If something breaks down, they pay for it, and you're just cruising, get to travel for free. It's awesome.
You know, you talk about you drive for a trucking company, so you're not what they call an owner operator, and many truck drivers are. Do you feel like that there's in the world of trucking today, we've seen the energy costs go up tremendously over the last 2 years, really. Do you feel like the price of diesel has bit into your paycheck? Do you feel like you could make even more money if energy were cheaper?
Oh, yes. Trucking companies have definitely, since I've gotten to the industry, they've decreased their pay to counteract the high prices in diesel, but also the low shipping rates. Companies are really under pressure right now. A lot of them are going out of business. So.
Yeah, so there's a lot of freight out there. And do you feel the importance?
Well, should we give him a cookie for that? He said they decreased their pay. Is he lying? He doesn't pay fuel. He's saying that trucking companies have decreased their pay because they're paying more in fuel and more in business costs, and the freight rates are down. I mean, that sounded pretty accurate. This is for show promotion. He said that though. He did. He don't do freight brokers, owner op. Heck no. Well, he's not an owner operator. He's a company driver. I don't know. Let's keep listening.
Of your job, when you're driving a truck across the country, do you feel like you're a part of this system and an integral part that people rely on you and that medicine and other things have to get to a place?
Oh yes, absolutely. The American economy is really run by truck. I mean, literally everything you see in a grocery store got there because of a truck driver.
You talk about how this is a great alternative to college, but it still takes an education. What was the process like to get certified and be out there on the road by yourself?
Yeah, so you have to go through a CDL school or trucking school. For me, I believe it was 3 months. But the great thing about it is because so many trucking companies are in need of drivers.
Oh
They
no.
will actually pay for your trucking school, which was
Oh
what happened to
no.
me.
Yeah, they pay after your contract. They're not in need of drivers. They're not, dude. They're not. They're in need of keeping drivers because he's not being honest. If he was honest, he would say there's a high turnover rate because these companies fuck over the drivers. He can't say fuck on Fox News, but he would say these trucking companies lie and manipulate truck drivers and they don't pay them what they're worth. That's why they struggle to keep their drivers. That's why there's a driver retention shortage, right? Because they keep leaving. They keep leaving and the training isn't good, so they keep getting into accidents. That's what he would say. They need drivers. No, they don't. Dude, ABF is laying people off. They don't need drivers. They got drivers. They're not paying them. They're yeah. Yeah, he lost me. I was giving him credit because he said, yeah, fuel should go down and, there's struggles with that. And they lowered their pay to counteract the fuel. But then he said, no, dude, he's pushing. Anytime you hear someone saying that there's a driver shortage, they're a fucking liar. They're a liar, dude. They're a liar, bro.
So I didn't have to come out of pocket $5,000 and pay for hotels and pay for food every day. So it was an easy ticket in. And
That's a lie. You do have to pay for your food. You have to pay for your food, bro. CR England, they don't pay for your food. They pay for the hotel. And the hotel I was in, it was very sketch. A lot of the ladies that were staying in the hotel, they were getting freaked out because there was like prostitutes and drug dealers in some of these hotels. I was in a nice hotel, but still, even the chick that was staying a few doors down from me, she was always telling me to like, I don't know, to like watch out for her or something because she was scared at the hotel. And she kept saying that she couldn't wait to get out of the hotel because she was scared of being there because there were just so many weirdos there and shit. Dude, no, no, bro. He's not. And then, no, and the Swift, they don't pay for your food. They don't pay for your fucking food, dude. You got to get your own fucking food. They'll pay for your food. They give you a lunch on orientation. That's what they do. But when you're in training, you have to save up because you're not getting paid for being, it's not paid training. You don't get paid until you get your CDL and you sign your contract. Then you get paid per diem waiting at the hotel until you go onto the mentor's truck. And then you get your CPM, which is like cut in half because you're a trainee, because you're a trainee. Oh, dude. He's just yeah, bro. This guy's he's a sellout. That's what he is. Alex, the trucking guy, is a sellout.
once you're in, it's just profit because you don't have to pay for a house or a mortgage or anything.
You're plainly spoken, explaining exactly what your experience is, and I think people are responding. We do have politics involved here. The Biden administration wants to, through their EPA, crack down on diesel trucks as part of climate change. They want to reduce emissions. They want to do it by getting, I guess, electric trucks in the trucking. I looked up, a Tesla truck can go like 300 miles on the charge. I'd imagine a freight truck would be less. Would that be detrimental to your job?
I will say that it's interesting what the EPA is doing. I think they're putting extremely high standards. I have some notes written down here. They said they want to reduce the percent emission in CO2 emissions in day cab trucks by 40% and sleepers by 25% by the year 2032, which is pretty dramatic change. And what that will do, what I believe, is that will force the industry to look for new technologies. Now, whether that technology be through internal combustion engines, plug-in hybrids, hydrogen, or even full electric, I honestly don't know. It's just a race to see.
Hold on.
Combustion engine is pretty. They said what the EPA is doing. I think they're putting extremely high standards. I have some notes written down here.
Oh, he said he had notes. Okay.
They want to reduce the percent emission in CO2 emissions.
He's reading off of the GP Transco script, so a lot of this is scripted.
Is that?
But at least he said that he was reading off of notes. So at least he's being honest about it.
Force the industry to look for new technologies. Now, whether that technology be through internal combustion engines, plug-in hybrids, hydrogen, or even full electric, I honestly don't know. It's just a race to see who can meet those EPA standards quickest. I will say I do like what Elon Musk is doing. I'm rooting for him. So
Fair
hopefully, we see that.
Alex, you're an optimist, man. You're always looking on the positive side. Thank you so much for putting this message out there. I hope people see it. I hope they're inspired by it. And I love the fact that you love your job and you found a way to make it happen, the American dream. Alex, the trucking guy. Take care, man.
Thank you. You too.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
What are you guys saying? Alex, the trucking guy, my story thoughts. Alex, the trucking guy on Variant Trucking. Oh, yeah. Well, overnight, what it's like living alone in a semi-truck. Well, yeah, he seems like a sellout. He definitely seems like a sellout. It's almost 2 a.m, dude. What the fuck am I doing up? He don't do freight brokers, owner op, heck no. CR England, you have to pay for school now. There are no LTL companies actively hiring on Indeed. You got to pay for school at CR England now? Is that fact or what? Because they were working with like this like loan company or whatever. He's painting a pretty picture. Yeah, he is, dude. He's not being honest. I get it, being optimistic and always looking on the up and up. But at some point, you have to look at reality. You have to look at look, if there's some broad that I'm trying to bang and she's just not going to bang me, I mean, I can only be optimistic about that for so long until I go home and whack off thinking about it, right? You get what I'm saying, dude? You have to be honest with yourself at some point. At some point, you have to realize, you know what? Yeah, I want to bang this broad, but I'm not going to bang her because she just doesn't like me. So maybe I should just try to go bang this other chick or do something else, or go on Workman's Comp and do red pill videos. Maybe I should do that instead of trying to bang this broad that doesn't want to bang me, right? At some point, Alex, the trucking guy, the average person has to be honest and look and say, you know what? I'm not making a lot of money in over-the-road trucking. This is bullshit. I'm being taken advantage of. Right? This is on point. I'm glad that you guys brought that up. I didn't know Alex the trucking guy made it on Fox News like that. But another one, bro. Another one of these fucking just like fake phony YouTubers. Fake, dude. And it seems like people like fake. Because look how big his channel is. I'm not being jealous. I'm just looking at numbers. He's been on YouTube a year longer than me. All right. But look at how big his channel is. Maybe a lot of it has to do with him always getting road footage, wearing the GoPro like that. But look at his channel and then look at mine. I'm real. To the point where sometimes I do stupid shit, like I troll incels and shit, and I make fun of red pill YouTubers. I make fun of like Fresh and Fit on my YouTube channel or whatever, and I say fuck. I cuss. I say what's on my mind, right? I don't like ass kiss for trucking companies. I don't know. Maybe that's why I don't know. People, yeah, at the end of the day, the algorithm is people. It's not like some robotic system. No, if a lot of people watch your videos or they just don't at the end of the day, right? So maybe people like fake cookie cutter Mr. Nice Guy YouTubers and they don't like people like me that say, "You know what? Fuck this shit." OTR is the American dream. You heard it first here. OTR, no, it's not. It's not, bro. Dude, you know this one time I was at Love's in Tulare, California, off of the 99 on Blackstone, right up the street from Night Transportation. This is when I was with CR England. I was training. Yeah, no, I know you're joking, Dr. Blitz. Yeah, Alex Nino or Mr. GP Transco, not Alex Nino. Alex the trucking guy. He just sounds like he's full of shit. He's a sellout. I was at Love's one time in Tulare, and me and my student, we just got done fueling up or getting lunch or whatever, and we go out, and then that first row of parking facing the fuel island in the shop, there is this fucking truck driver, bro, in his sleeper. Dude, hold on, I wait for the plane to go over. Come on, plane. There's a plane flying over. So yeah, dude, there was this truck driver, and he was sitting in the driver's seat, and he was so big and fat. He was just a nasty motherfucker. He was just sitting there, just with his shirt off too. He had like tattoos on him. He was like some white dude, and he had like these like reader glasses, and dude, just everything. His head. He was just a fat motherfucker. He was just sitting there like. then, and then me and the student looked at him. We were like, oh. We were like, fuck going over the road. Like, even my student was like, yeah, that's what happens when you go over the road. I'm like, yeah, look at that. That's disgusting. You're just a big old fat, nasty motherfucker. I'm like, oh, dude. Oh, man. I'm making way more money doing local than I was OTR. Yeah, dude, because the money is in local. It's not in OTR. It's not. Not in line haul or anything, right? Trapping is there it is. Um, Elon Musk is a tool. Um, Elon Musk, I mean, he was born into wealth. He lies a lot. He doesn't tell you the truth about his upbringing. He was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, that's for sure. He didn't like come from a poor family. He was born into wealth and he had a leg up, you know what I mean? And that's cool, right? If we all become successful, we're going to want our kids to be born with a silver spoon or better than how we had it, right? So nothing wrong with that, but I used to work at Tesla. And he takes good care of the people who work at Tesla. I could say that for sure, dude. People at Tesla make good money for the work that they do. In the beginning, I left because it was rough. I was being overworked, bro. I was working like 7 days straight, no days off on a split shift, 14, 16-hour shifts. Crazy shit, dude. Um, Near the end, it started getting a little structured, but I was just over it. I was just overworked. And I didn't like being in a warehouse setting. It was depressing. But man, if I would have stuck with it, um, I got friends that are millionaires right now, right? Working at Tesla. Alex doesn't know what he's talking about. He knows what he's talking about. He's just being cookie cutter because he's making a lot of money on YouTube. GP Transco is paying him a lot of money to say the things that he's saying. He's not being honest, that he knows what he's talking about, but he's not being honest. He's not giving you the full honest truth of the situation. So with that, you can't really trust him. But I think I'm gonna get up off here. Um, it's almost it's almost 2 in the morning right here. I should go to bed. It's cold outside, and Yeah, we've been on here for like 3 hours. I think I can go to bed now. Be sure to smash the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel, and let me end it with this. Trucking is a trade. It's a hard job. It's a rough job. Over the road trucking sucks. I mean, fuck what Alex, the trucking guy, is talking about. Over the road trucking is fucking horrible. That shit sucks, dude. Nobody wants to be away from the house that long for a paycheck. Fuck, especially in like freezing, freezing cold weather and the blazing heat and humidity in like Laredo and Houston and shit. No one wants to be dealing with that shit. People want a job. There might be some like guys that like over the road truck driving, and that's fine. But the average person just wants a job where they get paid good and they go home. That's it. Simple. You don't get that with over the road trucking. You get paid shit and you get overworked and you barely go home and you don't really have a good, there's no work life balance. Your health takes a shit. I mean, because you're eating nasty truck stop food. Your relationships take a shit because you're always on the road. It sucks. It's fucking terrible. Alex, the trucking guy, he sounds like a sellout because he's talking about over the road trucking. And what makes him seems like he's full of shit is, he's not telling you the negative parts about it. That's what it is. He's just telling you, oh, most of these trucking schools, they'll pay for your truck driving. No, most of these trucking schools, they'll pay for your training. They'll buy you food. They'll put you in a hotel. Fuck off, dude. Why don't you just say that GP Transco is paying me to say this, right? Or just say, oh, there's certain things that I can't say. I would even respect it if he said this. He was like, look, there's certain things that I can and can't say, but what I will say is this. Then I would respect it because he's letting you know what's up right up front. He's giving you a hint. But to just go on Fox News and to act like the poster child, it's like, dude, no, man. Trucking is a rough job. And not everyone can do it, right? Yeah, not everyone can do this job. I mean, look, some people need to go out on workman's comp because they can't do the job, right? Like, not because they're seriously injured, no, just because they're lazy and they're just too lazy to do the job. So they'd rather milk workman's comp and talk shit on YouTube, right? Like I said, not everyone can be a truck driver. It's not for everybody. This is a rough job. It's a hard job. If you do over the road trucking, that is a rough fucking lifestyle. There's nothing easy about that shit. That shit's tough, bro. And there's a high turnover rate because it's a shitty job. The money isn't local. Once guys get off of the road and they do food service or they work for like the post office or something where it's honest, like you get paid this hourly rate, you clock in, you clock out. That's when you really make money. But to get to that point, you're going to have to do over the road trucking. Every now and then you'll get lucky and a company will hire you with no experience. That's not the average situation, right? Most people are going to have to go over the road. Alex, the trucking guy, is not being honest about it. When I come on here and I say this honest shit, and I remind you that, look, if you don't want to do this, there's other things that you could do, or you'll probably make more money, right? You'll probably make more money. I got cousins that are getting paid like 65 an hour at IBEW that are union electricians. I don't know if I've ever heard of a truck driver getting paid $65 an hour. I don't know if I've ever heard of that. The most I've heard is like in the 40s at certain companies, right? Chemical tankers, some of them get paid like 40 something. I mean, you got all these guys saying hauling fuel for 35 an hour is a lot of money. It's not. That's not a lot of money for hauling fuel. Hauling fuel is fucking dangerous. You're going to pay me 35 an hour? What the fuck? That should be at least 50. That should be probably 65, dude. The pay with trucking, it's low. It's really low. So yeah, see you later, JF. I'm gonna get up out of here too. Um, yeah, I think that's all I got to say for tonight. Beware of these YouTubers. You know, Alex the trucking guy. He's after his money. He doesn't make money like that in trucking. He makes a lot of money on YouTube. You want to see how much money Alex the trucking guy makes on YouTube? I'll show you right now. How much does Alex the trucking guy make on YouTube? You could look this up yourself. Okay, so Alex the trucking guy, he makes around 230 to around $691 per video. So let's meet in the middle. Let's say he makes around $400 per video. And how many videos does he have? He has 411 videos. Okay. Let's say he's making money off of 150 videos, right? At around 350 a piece. Right? So let's go 150 multiplied by 350. So he's making about that a month. He's making around 52 G's a month multiplied by 12 because unlike regular jobs, YouTube doesn't stop. YouTube money doesn't stop. It just keeps coming every month. So he's making around 630,000 $630,000, right? Did I say that right? He's making around $630,000. $630,000. Dude, what the fuck is wrong? It's late. I'm losing my head. That's why he's saying that, because he's making around that a month. No, per year. I mean, I'm sorry. How much does YouTubers.me say? Video views. Damn, look at that. His video views are over 378,761,263. Look at that. That boy is making bread, dude. You see why I'm telling you guys that there's so much money to be made on YouTube? Alex the trucking guy, his net worth, it's estimated to be, yeah, so he's a millionaire, pretty much. That's an estimate. His estimated net worth is around 150 to just under $1 million on his YouTube channel, right? So his estimated earnings in March. So in November he made about 13,000. Last year 5, 2. He had 1 month where he made around 20 grand, 15 grand. Yeah, he's making big fucking money, dude. There's big money to be made on YouTube, bro. I'm telling you guys, there's big money on here. You got to think about this like a business. Yeah, Alex the trucking guy, he's making big money on YouTube. I think Alex Nino is making more. What I like about Alex Nino is he seems like he's more real and authentic. I don't think Alex Nino would go on Fox News and totally kiss ass like that. I think Alex Nino would tell you that, yeah, like he locks his doors up at night. If you watch Alex Nino's channel, when he's sleeping up here in the Bay Area in his truck, he locks up his doors. Like he ties it up with the seatbelt and locks it up. I think he would tell you why he does that, because it's dangerous to spend the night in Oakland or Union City or something, or anywhere in your truck. So he locks it up because he doesn't want to get someone, breaking into his truck. or whatever. He'd probably tell you about the time that he got his truck broken into. He'd probably, you know, say that, yeah, the pay is kind of low. But he said he works really, really hard. Yeah, dude. Oh, GP Transco, they're definitely still running him. Just because he's their marketing boy, I mean, that's still their asset. The truck is still their asset, and they're still going to want to maximize that. So I'm sure he's running. Um, who knows how hard he's running? But nevertheless, he's still running. Got the backyard lights on. It's freaking me out. So he's probably making about what? If he's a millionaire, then you know his channel's been popping for 2 years. That's when it really started making a lot of money, right? So if he's a millionaire, then he's probably been making around 500,000 off YouTube. Now add another, like what? He's probably doing like 70 or 80, maybe at GP Transco. They're probably giving him a lot of bonuses too. That's another thing. Since he's their marketing guy, he's probably getting a lot of referrals. He's probably recruiting a lot of people onto GP Transco. So he's probably getting a lot of referral bonuses with GP Transco. So he's recruiting for them. So, and when you recruit for a trucking company, the money's big, dude. Like sometimes they'll pay you like almost $3,000 to recruit a driver after they finish their onboarding and they do their first load. So he could be making like 150, probably even 200,000, honestly, with if he's recruiting hella hard for GP Transco. And it's probably set up to where people who apply and they say, "Oh, I saw you guys on Alex's channel," they probably give him a little kickback for that, right? So he's probably making around 600,000 a year. So yeah, he's going to talk positive about trucking. He's not going to be real. He's not going to give you the full picture, right? But yeah, I think I'm going to get up off here. Be wary of these fake and phony YouTubers that are not keeping it real, that are doing dumb shit like milking workman's comp or going on to Fox News and pretty much kissing ass for a trucking company or just whatever, right? You're taking things that I've said and twisting it up into something that I didn't say because they're jealous of me getting just a little bit more views than them. You got to be wary of all this shit, dude. I'm giving you guys the real spill, right? If you go back and watch my old videos that still got people pissed off, all I'm doing is giving you an honest account of what's going on in trucking and what you're going to go through when you get into this line of work. That's it. That's it. And every now and then I make fun of incels and I, you know, I should stop that, you know. But yeah. Like and subscribe, share the live stream, and I gotta go to bed. It's 2:02. Peace out.